Chapter 351. Sung Song was surprised to see Heavenly Beast, but when he saw Lu Yiping, his entire body trembled with excitement. He walked up to Lu Yiping and knelt down, kowtowing respectfully. His voice was filled with excitement as he said, "Disciple Sung Song greets Master." Dan Fei, who had followed them out, looked at Lu Yiping in shock. This blue-robed young man was his master's master. Wasn't that his grandmaster? At that moment, Sung Song bowed respectfully to Taurus Longjiao and said, "Little Song greets Lord Shaojin." Lu Yiping helped Sung Song up. Taurus Longjiao looked at Sung Song and grinned. "Little Song, long time no see. You're still as handsome as ever." Hearing Taurus Longjiao's familiar tone, Sung Song felt a warm feeling in his heart. He smiled and said, "In terms of handsomeness, Little Song is far from Lord Shaojin." Taurus Longjiao laughed heartily. "I like hearing that." Heavenly Beast stepped forward and bowed respectfully to Sung Song. "Little Tian greets Master." Sung Song helped Heavenly Beast up and smiled. "And, you've grown much stronger than before." Then, he asked Dan Fei to greet Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and Heavenly Beast. After Dan Fei greeted the three of them, Sung Song smiled at Lu Yiping and said, "This little brat is the only disciple I've accepted after ascending to the upper realm." Lu Yiping looked at Dan Fei and said, "Not bad." He could tell that Dan Fei's soul was special. Immediately after, Sung Song happily invited Lu Yiping and the other two into the cave. After inviting Lu Yiping into the cave, Sung Song was embarrassed and said to Lu Yiping, "Every inch of land in the Master God Sea is worth its weight in gold. This cave is a little shabby, and I've embarrassed myself in front of Master and Lord Shaojin." Taurus Longjiao looked at Sung Song and said, "Little Songzi, you've been progressing slowly. Don't tell me you've been spending all these years picking up girls." Sung Song was taken aback. He scratched his head in front of Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao like a child who had done something wrong. He said, "In the hundreds of thousands of years after I ascended to the upper worlds, I was busy building the heavenly palace and developing its forces. I neglected my cultivation and failed to live up to the expectations of my master and Lord Shaojin. Suddenly, someone shouted from outside the cave, 'The Heavenly Dipper Divine Palace has come to visit.'" When Sung Song and Dan Fei heard this, they both frowned. The Heavenly Dipper God Manor was Su Donghe's abode. A few days ago, Su Donghe had suggested that the Spirit Turtle Divine Elixir produced annually by the Spirit Turtle Island would belong to his abode. He had asked them to consider it for a few days, and today was the deadline for a reply. Lu Yiping saw Sung Song's expression and asked, "This Heavenly Dipper God Manor is Su Donghe's abode?" Sung Song was taken aback, then nodded, "It is Su Donghe's abode." Dan Fei angrily told them about Su Donghe's excessive demands in the past few years. Only then did Lu Yiping and the others know that the Spirit Turtle Island had a core that produced several hundred drops of Spirit Turtle Divine Elixir every year. This was the Spirit Turtle Island's most precious treasure. In the past, Sung Song and Su Donghe had agreed to each take half, but in the past few years, Su Donghe's demands had become more and more excessive after he climbed up to the overlord of the Prime Divine Sea, Floating Dragon. Oh, now they want all the Spirit Turtle Divine Elixir. The Heavenly Beast frowned. Dan Fei nodded and said angrily, 3 years ago, they wanted 80% of the Spirit Turtle Divine Elixir, and now they want all of it. It's obvious that they want to drive us away and monopolize the Spirit Turtle Island. If we don't have the Spirit Turtle Divine Elixir, we might as well return to the Heavenly Palace on the Blood Devil continent to cultivate. Without the Spirit Turtle Divine Elixir, there was no need to stay on the Spirit Turtle Island. "Let them in," Lu Yiping said. Sung Song respectfully acknowledged and immediately opened the abode's grand formation to let the people from the Heavenly Dipper Divine Manor in. The group that came was led by Su Donghe's eldest disciple, Mu Shaojiang. Mu Shaojiang brought the Heavenly Dipper Divine Manor's experts into the hall and smiled at Sung Song, "Senior Sung Song, today is the last day of my master's proposal, what do you think? Before Tsang Song could speak, Taurus Longjiao said, in the future, all the spirit turtle divine elixir will belong to the Tsang Song abode. Mu Xiaojiang and the Heavenly Dipper divine manners experts were stunned. Who are you? Mu Xiaojiang's face darkened as he looked at Taurus Longjiao. What did you mean just now? Taurus Longjiao suddenly slapped Mu Xiaojiang to the ground and said, not only the spirit turtle divine elixir, everything in the spirit turtle island will belong to the Tsang Song abode. Go back and tell your master to scram tomorrow. If he doesn't scram, then I'll make him scram. Mu Xiaojiang felt as if his entire body was flattened by Taurus Longjiao's sudden slap. He was shocked and angry. He was a 13-mandate divine king, the strongest person below the sovereign god of the surrounding hundreds of islands. But now, he was slapped to the ground by this golden retriever and couldn't even move. The dozen or so Heavenly Dipper divine manner experts who came with Mu Xiaojiang were also shocked. However, these Heavenly Dipper divine manner experts were all mandate divine kings and didn't dare to attack. Taurus Longjiao kicked Mu Xiaojiang out of the Tsang Song abode and rolled all the way to the shore of the Spirit Turtle Island. Sand billowed and seawater splashed. The other Heavenly Dipper divine manner experts fled in panic. Mu Xiaojiang's face was full of resentment, but he didn't dare to say anything and fled back to the Heavenly Dipper divine manor. Inside the Heavenly Dipper divine manor, Su Donghe was accompanying Wuhua from the Pagoda Dragon Manor with a smile on his face. Lord Wuhua has descended upon our Spirit Turtle Island, bringing light to our Spirit Turtle Island. Su Donghe smiled and presented a jade bottle to Wuhua. This is our Spirit Turtle divine elixir. I hope Lord Wuhua will kindly accept it. Wuhua opened the jade bottle and looked at the several thousand drops of Spirit Turtle divine elixir inside. He smiled and said, that Tsang Song, do you want me to make him move out of the Spirit Turtle Island? Su Donghe smiled, I already told Tsang Song that the Spirit Turtle Island Spirit Turtle divine elixir will belong to my Heavenly Dipper divine manor in the future. If he knows what's good for him, he will obediently leave the Spirit Turtle Island. On account of our past relationship, I won't make things difficult for him. His eyes narrowed as he said this. However, if he doesn't know what's good for him, then don't blame me for not taking into account our past relationship. Just as he said this, he saw Mu Xiaojiang and the Heavenly Dipper divine manor experts fleeing back in a sorry state. Su Donghe and Wuhua were surprised. What happened? Su Donghe looked at Mu Xiaojiang's face, which was completely black from friction, and asked with a dark expression. Mu Xiaojiang explained the matter and repeated Taurus Longjiao's original words. Tell me to scram. The Spirit Turtle Island belongs to the Tsang Song Manor. Su Donghe laughed in anger. Wuhua rubbed the jade bottle containing the Spirit Turtle divine elixir. Some people are tired of living. He then said to Su Donghe, I'll go with you to the Tsang Song Manor. Su Donghe stood up and bowed to thank Wuhua. He then led the group of Heavenly Dipper divine manor experts to the Tsang Song Manor. Soon, the group arrived at the Tsang Song Manor. Su Donghe was about to speak when Wuhua cut him off. No need to go through so much trouble. A giant hammer appeared in his hand and he swung it at the Tsang Song Manor. Chapter 352. When Wuhua swung his hammer down, a fiery light burst out, and fiery strands of fire law wrapped around the hammer. These fire laws contained a total of 41 types of laws. Between heaven and earth, there were 13 types of origin laws: water, wood, wind, fire, earth, metal, lightning, poison, darkness, light, time, space, and fate. Each type of origin law contained 99 types of energy. Every time one comprehended an additional type of energy, the power of one's origin law attack would greatly increase. Now that Wuhua had comprehended 41 types of fire law, the power of his hammer could be imagined. If Wuhua's hammer landed on Tsang Song's cultivation dwelling, it would definitely be reduced to dust. Although Tsang Song was the Heavenly Palace's ancestral master, he had only comprehended 35 types of water law. The array formation he set up would definitely not be able to withstand Wu Hua's hammer. Just as Wu Hua's hammer was about to hit Song Song's cultivation dwelling, a giant golden palm appeared out of nowhere and grabbed the hammer. The moment this giant golden palm grabbed Wu Hua's hammer, the 41 types of fire law energy contained in the hammer exploded and disappeared without a trace. Wu Hua, Su Donghe, and the several hundred Heavenly Dipper divine manners experts were stunned. Then, everyone looked at the giant golden palm that appeared out of nowhere. Wu Hua looked at Song Song's cultivation dwelling in shock. Song Song's strength was much lower than his, and this giant golden palm was clearly not Song Song's method. At this time, the giant golden palm emitted a bright light, and the hammer in Wu Hua's hand was knocked out of his hand. Wu Hua's palm exploded from the impact. But this was not the end. The giant golden palm grabbed Wu Hua's neck and pulled him down from the sky, smashing him to the ground. With a loud bang, the giant golden palm dragged Wu Hua into Song Song's cultivation dwelling. Su Donghe and the others were dumbfounded as they watched Wu Hua being dragged into Song Song's cultivation dwelling like a dog. Song Song's cultivation dwelling emitted a bright light as the grand array formation opened. Su Donghe looked at Song Song's cultivation dwelling and hesitated for a moment before carefully entering with the Heavenly Dipper divine manners experts. When they arrived at the main hall, they saw Wu Hua, who had just been dragged into the cave like a dog, being held by the neck by a burly golden retriever. Wu Hua's face was as red as violet as he stood there, completely unable to move. He was like a little fish whose strength had been completely suppressed. His mouth was wide open as he tried to breathe, but found it hard to do so. Wu Hua's eyes were filled with rage and killing intent. Su Donghe and the others were greatly shocked. Taurus Longjiao looked at the group of experts from Heavenly Dipper divine manner before his gaze landed on Su Donghe. It seems that you're not convinced that I told you to scram from Spirit Turtle Island. Su Donghe stuttered, how should I address you, sir? Lord Wu Hua is a general under Lord Long Futu. Dragon Stupa. Taurus Longjiao laughed. And then? Su Donghe choked. All of a sudden, Taurus Longjiao tightened his grip. Wu Hua's eyes were filled with fear as he tried to struggle, but it was to no avail as he was crushed into pieces. Looking at Wu Hua who was crushed to death, not only Su Donghe, but even Song Song and Shan Fei were shocked. They did not expect Taurus Longjiao to kill Wu Hua so easily. Dragon Stupa was a master god who had comprehended 70 types of wind element laws. He was also the strongest expert in the surrounding several hundred islands. Among these several hundred islands, no one dared to challenge Dragon Stupa's prestige and status, much less kill a general under him. After killing Wu Hua, Taurus Longjiao looked at Su Donghe and the group of Heavenly Dipper divine manner experts. Su Donghe and the group of Heavenly Dipper divine manner experts paled, retreating in fear. However, just as they were about to retreat, the giant golden palm appeared once again. Su Donghe roared, you killed Lord Wu Hua, you won't be able to escape the Master God See. But his voice stopped abruptly. With a loud bang, Su Donghe and the group of Heavenly Dipper divine manner experts were slammed to the ground by the giant golden palm. None of them managed to escape. Su Donghe and the rest did not even have the chance to attack. Shan Fei found it hard to calm down. Su Donghe and his master Song Song were equally matched in strength, and among the several dozen experts under Su Donghe's command, more than a dozen of them were Master God level experts. Yet, they were still killed by this Lord Shaojin with a single palm. Song Song smiled wryly in his heart. They had not seen each other for nearly 2 million years, but Lord Shaojin had not changed at all. He was still as decisive as before. However, thinking about Dragon Stupa and the group of experts on Stupa Island, Song Song felt a little anxious. Song Song and Lu Yiping's disciples were the same. They only knew that Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were very powerful, but they did not know what realm they had reached. What is this Dragon Stupa's strength? Lu Yiping asked. Song Song straightened his face and said respectfully, Master, this dragon stupa is a wind over god. He has already comprehended 70 types of wind element energy. I heard that he is currently comprehending the 71st type of wind element energy. Moreover, some people say that Dragon Stupa is from the Jade Water Palace. Jade Water Palace? Lu Yiping asked. Song Song nodded with a solemn expression. The Overgod Sea is divided into 4 seas. The Jade Water Palace is one of the 3 superpowers of the Southern Sea. The Palace Master of the Jade Water Palace is a lightning overgod. He has comprehended 99 types of lightning element energy. 99 types of lightning element energy. The heavenly beast was shocked. This was already the peak of a master god. Song Song continued, the Jade Water Palace Master is one of the 3 superpowers of the Southern Sea. He has also obtained the inheritance of a god emperor from the Thunder Division of the ancient heavenly court. Oh, the inheritance of a god emperor from the Thunder Division of the ancient heavenly court. Taurus Longjiao was surprised. Even in the ancient heavenly court, god-ranking experts were overlords. Lu Yiping asked, who is in charge of the divine world now? Song Song shook his head. Several million years ago, the barbarian dragon overlord fell and the divine world fell into chaos. The barbarian dragon overlord subordinates split up and declared themselves kings. Taurus Longjiao asked, so, there is no overlord of the divine world now? Song Song nodded. Yes. Lu Yiping asked a few more questions about the divine world before getting up and heading to Su Dongha's Heavenly Dipper Manor with Taurus Longjiao and Song Song. There were only a few ordinary overgod guards left in the Heavenly Dipper Manor. Taurus Longjiao cleaned them up and had Song Song move everything out of the Heavenly Dipper Manor. At the same time, Lu Yiping and the rest made some simple changes to the Spirit Turtle Island. Lu Yiping tore down the Heavenly Dipper Manor and expanded Song Song's dwelling several times. At the same time, he set up a myriad soul-gathering divine formation. The moment the myriad soul-gathering divine formation was formed, streams of spiritual energy poured into the Spirit Turtle Island like a waterfall from the depths of the void. Dan Fei couldn't be sure as he looked at the streams of spiritual energy in the depths of the void, is this primeval spiritual energy? Sovereign realm experts used their cultivation techniques to devour primeval spiritual energy. This primeval spiritual energy was hidden in the depths of the divine world and only sovereign realm experts could devour it. While Lu Yiping and the Dragon Horn Golden Ox were modifying Spirit Turtle Island, Dragon Stupa was cultivating in a secret room. Gusts of purple wind gathered around him, constantly evolving. Sometimes, they would condense into various divine beasts, and sometimes, they would condense into gods of the wind element. Each of these wind elemental gods was 100 times stronger than Wuxia. Chapter 353. After a long time, Long Futu stopped cultivating and walked out of the secret chamber. When he walked out, he saw Wei Quan waiting respectfully outside. What is it? Normally, Wei Quan wouldn't come to the secret chamber unless there was something important. My lord, Wuxia has gone missing. Wei Quan said. Missing? Long Futu looked at Wei Quan in surprise. I wanted to send him to White Tiger Island, but I couldn't contact him. Wei Quan said. Where did he go before he went missing? Long Futu asked. Spirit Turtle Island. Wei Quan said. Long Futu stopped in his tracks. Spirit Turtle Island. Wei Quan nodded. I sent Zhou Jun and Sun Gang over, but just now, I lost contact with Zhou Jun and Sun Gang. Long Futu's expression changed. Both Zhou Jun and Sun Gang were wood sovereigns who had cultivated 52 types of energy. Even the two of them had lost contact. Spirit Turtle Island. Long Futu's eyes flickered. What do you think about this? Wei Quan said solemnly, Wuxia probably went to Spirit Turtle Island to see Heavenly Dipper Manor's Su Dongha. His disappearance should be related to Su Dongha. I remember that apart from Su Dongha, Spirit Turtle Island also has someone called Sang Song. Long Footer suddenly said. Sang Song. Wei Quan was stunned. My lord, are you saying that Wu Hua's disappearance might be related to this Sang Song? However, I understand this Sang Song's strength. He is only a water sovereign who has comprehended 35 types of water energy. Among the 13 types of sovereigns, water sovereigns were the weakest in terms of attack power. Moreover, Sang Song had only comprehended 35 types of water energy. Check if there are any abnormalities in Spirit Turtle Island recently. Long Footer said thoughtfully. Several days passed in this manner. Lu Yiping sat cross-legged in Sang Song's palace on Spirit Turtle Island, absorbing Jianshu's profound yellow energy. Recently, his immortal heavenly wood art had reached the peak of the 7th level, just half a step away from breaking through to the 8th level. Early in the morning, the sun shone brightly. Lu Yiping walked out of the palace and saw Taurus Longjiao sitting cross-legged on the shore of Spirit Turtle Island, fishing leisurely with a fishing rod in hand. Lu Yiping could not help but smile when he saw this. This guy is interested in fishing. Lu Yiping took a step forward and arrived beside Taurus Longjiao. Master. Taurus Longjiao grinned and said, the spirit turtle fish in the waters around Spirit Turtle Island are fat and big. It's almost the new year, so I'll catch a few. When the time comes, we'll have a barbecue fish feast. Lu Yiping was speechless. If you have so much free time, you might as well cultivate. Taurus Longjiao smiled and said, anyway, even if the sky falls, Master will hold it up. My half-assed cultivation base is more or less enough. Sang Song walked over from afar and said with a smile, Lord Shaojin is too humble. He came in front of the two and greeted them, saying, Master, it's almost the new year. It's rare that Master and Lord Shaojin are here, so I plan to buy some New Year goods. This year, our Spirit Turtle Island will be lively. Lu Yiping smiled and said, that's good too. During the thousands of years in the heavenly palace in the lower realm, he had been cultivating in seclusion and did not spend the new year with Tian Shou and the others. Where are you going to buy New Year goods? We'll go with you and take a look around the main God Ocean, Lu Yiping said. It'll be great if Master and Lord Shaojin go together. There's a market on Carefree Godly Island, one of the biggest markets in our main God Ocean. There's a lot of stuff there, Sang Song said. We plan to take a look at Carefree Godly Island. Then let's go to Carefree Godly Island, Lu Yiping said with a smile. A moment later, they left Spirit Turtle Island. However, as soon as they left Spirit Turtle Island, they ran into Wang Gua who had rushed over from the Blood Demon Continent's heavenly palace. Wang Gua had originally come to see Sang Song and report to him about Lu Yiping, but when he saw Sang Song and Lu Yiping together, and Sang Song calling Lu Yiping master, he couldn't help but be dumbfounded. After Wang Gua greeted Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and Tian Shou, Sang Song smiled and said, Wang Gua, you came at the right time. We're planning to go to Carefree Godly Island to buy New Year goods. Let's go together. Thus, the 6 of them headed towards Carefree Godly Island. Carefree Godly Island was not close to Spirit Turtle Island, so Lu Yiping increased the speed of the Black Dragon flying ship. The 6 of them did not stop, and several days later, they arrived at Carefree Godly Island. Carefree Divine Island was one of the largest islands in the main Divine Ocean. It was half the size of the Blood Demon Continent, and one couldn't see the end of it. Looking from afar, one could see all kinds of spaceships shuttling back and forth in the waters around Carefree Divine Island. These flying ships came from various forces in the main God Ocean. Some of the flying ships even came from the continents around the main God Ocean. Carefree Godly Island had the biggest trading market in the main God Ocean. Therefore, sects and families from the continents around the main God Ocean would come to Carefree Godly Island to purchase materials. The Black Dragon flying ship flew into Carefree Godly Island's airspace, attracting many people's attention. Find out which family that flying ship belongs to. In the distance, a young man standing at the bow of a golden crow flying ship looked at the black dragon flying ship and asked his subordinate. His subordinate acknowledged respectfully. One day later, Liu Yiping's group of 6 arrived at Carefree Godly Island's main city, Carefree City. The trading market was inside Carefree City. Liu Yiping put away the black dragon flying ship. However, just as the 6 of them were about to enter Carefree City, they saw a large group of experts walking out of the city. They were from the Blood Demon Church, and they had probably come to Carefree City to purchase items. They had just finished shopping and were about to leave Carefree City. It's Liu. Wang Guo's expression changed when he saw the group from the Blood Demon Church. Liu was the Blood Demon Church's founder, and also the sect master of the Blood Demon Church, Li Guang's Grand Master. He was also the #1 expert on the Blood Demon continent. Following behind Liu, Li Guang was surprised to see Wang Guo, Cang Song, and the others. When he saw Liu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao standing beside Cang Hua, his eyes turned cold. Heavenly Palace. He said to Liu, Grand Master, that blue-robed young man should be Liu Yiping. Liu looked at Liu Yiping and led the group of Blood Demon Church's experts towards Liu Yiping, Cang Song, and the others. When they arrived in front of Liu Yiping's group, Liu looked at Liu Yiping, then at Cang Song and Wang Guo. Indifferent smiles appeared on his face as he said to Liu Yiping, You're Liu Yiping. You're the one who killed more than a dozen of our Blood Demon Church's grand elders and my grand disciples. Before Liu Yiping could say anything, the heavenly beast spoke, I was the one who killed them. Liu looked at the heavenly beast, it's good that you dare to admit it. He then looked at Cang Song, you've got guts. They killed more than a dozen of my Blood Demon Church's grand elders and my grand disciples. Not only did your heavenly palace not capture them, you're even chatting and laughing with them. It seems like your relationship with them is pretty good. Cang Song looked at Liu and said, This is my Grand Master. He was referring to Liu Yiping. Grand Master. Liu, Li Guang, and the rest of the Blood Demon Church's experts were stunned. Liu sneered, so that's how it is. In that case, there's no need for your heavenly palace to exist anymore. He then turned to the Blood Demon Church's experts and said, Kill the 6 of them, don't let a single one escape. We'll destroy the heavenly palace when we get back. Chapter 354. Blood Demon's Hand. Flame Demon's Blood Print. Over 20 over-gods of the Blood Demon Church and several dozen god kings worked together, causing the world to shake violently. Destructive energy blasted towards Liu Yiping's group of 6. The experts in the surroundings all retreated in shock. It's the Blood Demon Church. The Blood Demon Church was the most powerful force on the Blood Demon continent. Even in the Over-God Sea, they were very famous. Just as the destructive power of the Blood Demon Church's experts was about to strike Liu Yiping and the others, Liu Yiping waved his sleeves casually and the space collapsed. The destructive power of the Blood Demon Church's experts exploded in mid-air like fireworks. Afterwards, the Blood Demon Church's experts were all sent flying as if they had suffered a heavy blow, smashing into the walls of Carefree City. There was a loud boom. The walls of Carefree City shook violently, on the verge of collapsing. Everyone was shocked when they saw this scene. The young man on the Golden Crow spaceship, who had asked his subordinates to investigate the Black Dragon spaceship, saw this scene from afar and was shocked. The 20-odd master gods of the Blood Demon Church were not ordinary master gods. The weakest among them had comprehended 15 types of power, while the strongest had comprehended 40 types of power. They were actually sent flying by this blue-robed young man. Most importantly, this blue-robed young man had only waved his hand gently. He had not used any law origin energy. Elder Yen, can you tell what law origin energy the blue-robed young man used when he attacked? The young man asked an old man beside him. Elder Yen shook his head with a solemn expression, this young man is very strong. He's probably no weaker than Liu of the Blood Demon Church. No weaker than Liu. That can't be, right? Some of the experts on the Golden Crow flying ship did not believe it. Li Yu was the most powerful expert on the Blood Demon continent. Li Yu and Li Guang looked at the experts of the Blood Demon Church who had been sent flying. They were also shocked and surprised. Li Yu looked at Lu Yiping, and his gaze gradually changed. Li Yu stared at Lu Yiping. "Sir, you are not weak. I have underestimated you. Looks like you are a late over god." Those who had comprehended more than 70 types of law origin energy were late over gods. Lu Yiping said indifferently, "I am an ancient god. I can kill you too." Everyone was stunned by Lu Yiping's words. The Golden Crow youngsters also frowned. Ancient gods could kill master gods. This blue-robed young man is too preposterous. No matter how powerful an ancient god is, they can only kill a god king with 1 or 2 wills. I've never heard of an ancient god being able to kill a god king with 4 wills or more, let alone an over god. A beautiful woman beside the young man shook her head. Hearing this, Li Yu laughed out loud. An ancient god can also kill me. Make your move. Lu Yiping's expression was indifferent. Li Yu's eyes turned cold. Light surged from his body as origin source laws shot into the air and wrapped around him. These origin source laws shone with a dazzling golden light. 72 types of metal elemental energy. The Golden Crow youngster was astonished. Fate, space, time, light, darkness, poison, lightning, metal, earth, fire, wind, wood, and water. Among the 13 origin laws, the laws of metal were ranked 8th. The offensive power of the law of gold far surpassed the laws of earth, fire, wind, wood, and water. The stronger the law, the harder it was to comprehend. Li Yu's comprehension of the 72 types of metal elemental energy shocked the surrounding experts. Li Yu activated the 72 types of metal elemental energy and suddenly sent a palm strike towards Lu Yiping. Great Golden Buddha Palm. When the palm struck out, a golden Buddha's palm broke through the air. Within the golden Buddha's palm, there was a faint shadow of a huge golden Buddha. The Buddha's light illuminated the entire Carefree Divine Island. All the experts in Carefree City were alarmed. Many experts rushed out from Carefree City. It's the Blood Demon Church's ancestral master, Li Yu. When they saw that the attacker was the Blood Demon Church's ancestral master, many experts were shocked. The Golden Crow youngster looked at the ordinary Great Golden Buddha palm and narrowed his eyes. This is the Great Golden Buddha palm from the ancient era? The ancient era's Golden Buddha temple was famous across the divine world. It's the Great Golden Buddha palm. Elder Yen nodded. The Great Golden Buddha palm is powered by Li Yu's 72 types of metal elemental energy. Its power is no weaker than the Great Golden Buddha palm used by the ancient era's experts. Let's see how this blue-robed young man deals with it. Everyone's attention was on Lu Yiping. Just as Li Yu's Great Golden Buddha palm was about to hit Lu Yiping, heaven and earth trembled violently. It was like the entire Carefree City space was about to explode. What's going on? Someone exclaimed. As soon as his words fell, everyone saw an incomparably huge shadow breaking through the air. When this huge shadow rose, huge waves rolled out, and the ground shook. The entire Carefree City quaked. This is a totem. Elder Yen was dumbfounded as he looked at the incomparably huge shadow breaking through the air. Totem. It's a totem. The Golden Crow youngster and the surrounding experts were also dumbfounded. Disbelief was written all over their faces. Even in the divine world's upper worlds, this was the first time the god kings and over-gods had seen such a huge totem. Even Li Yu and Li Guang were shocked. Is this really a totem? An ancestor in the crowd exclaimed. Is he really going to fight Li Yu with his ancient god strength? Amidst the commotion, another black shadow of the same size flew out. Then, before everyone's eyes, totem after totem flew out. 14 totems. When the 14 totems flew out, everyone was shocked. Just as everyone was shocked, the 15th totem flew out. 15 totems. The Golden Crow youngster exclaimed, could he be like Sui Tai and the others, able to condense more than 20 totems? In the divine world's upper worlds, there were some eternal monsters that could condense more than 20 totems. However, these eternal monsters were extremely rare. Every time an eternal monster with more than 20 totems appeared, it would shock many mainlands in the divine world. The Sui Tai mentioned by the Golden Crow had already condensed 24 totems when he was still an ancient god. Soon, 16 totems, 17 totems. 23 totems. When Lu Yiping's 23 totems flew out, everyone held their breaths. Sui Tai was the Sui family's eternal monster genius. Would this blue-robed young man be like Sui Tai, condensing 24 totems? While everyone was still holding their breaths, heaven and earth shook once again, and 24 totems flew out. Just when everyone thought it was over, heaven and earth shook again, and 25 totems flew out. 25 totems. Everyone was shocked. He wouldn't be like Wen Yufeng, condensing 26 totems, would he? An expert stuttered, uttering the name of a monstrous genius that resounded throughout the divine world. Wen Yufeng had condensed 26 totems, and each totem was shockingly large, hailed as the divine world's strongest monstrous genius in the last 3 million years. Before everyone's eyes, 26 totems flew out. But 27 totems followed closely behind, appearing in everyone's line of sight. Chapter 355. 27 totems. Everyone looked at the 27 totems in a daze. The Golden Crow youth said, 27 totems. Wen Yufeng, known as the strongest monstrous genius of the divine world in the last 3 million years, had condensed 26 totems. But this blue-clothed youth had condensed 27 totems. Li Yu was also stunned. But everyone saw another totem fly out. 28. Then, 29. 30. 31. Totem after totem flew out. Everyone looked at the totems that covered the sky, and their minds went blank. 40 totems. The Golden Crow youth trembled. When Lu Yiping's 40 totems flew out, everyone was shocked beyond words. In the end, the 49 totems stood tall in the 9 heavens. The radiance of the 49 totems illuminated the cities and the entire free, unfettered divine island. Even the sea around the island was illuminated by the radiance of the 49 totems. The waves of energy rolled up by the totems tumbled like the sea, crashing into every corner of Carefree God Island, crashing into the tens of thousands of miles of sea around Carefree God Island. The world was as dark as an abyss. In the nearby seas, thousands of waves rolled up, as if they were about to flip over. Carefree City was the main city of Carefree Island, and also the largest city. But in front of the 49 totems, it was still much smaller. When the 49 totems flew out, the air currents froze. Lu Yiping suddenly punched out. Fist light shot out. Gods, immortals, and Buddhas appeared. This fist seemed to gather all the strength of the world. This fist seemed to come from another era. This fist had already surpassed the strength of everyone's understanding. The fist waves howled, and Li Yu's great golden Buddha palm was instantly pierced through. The Buddhist light that filled the sky suddenly stopped. The golden Buddha phantoms in the great golden Buddha palm also disappeared without a trace. Bang! A heaven-shaking explosion spread throughout Carefree God Island. After the fist waves pierced through the great golden Buddha palm, they instantly arrived in front of Li Yu. Li Yu roared in shock. Golden light burst out from his body as he frantically punched out with both fists, trying to block the fists of the gods, immortals, and Buddhas. However, in the next moment, he felt an unimaginably powerful force rushing towards him. He was instantly sent flying like a withered leaf by a violent storm. Li Yu smashed into the wall of Liberty City. Liberty City exploded, and the city wall hummed. Centered at the place where Li Yu hit, cracks began to appear. The cracks expanded non-stop and covered the city wall one after another. Lu Yiping's fists, on the other hand, hit the city wall of Liberty City. In a deafening explosion, the shockwave spread out, raising a sandstorm that lasted for a long time. Some cities that were extremely far away were also rumbling from the impact of the fist waves. After a long time, the sandstorm stopped. Everybody who had retreated far away in fear looked over, only to discover that the ground around Liberty City had been raised and dented. Many spaceships failed to escape in time and were blown thousands of kilometers away. Li Yu himself, on the other hand, was lying at the foot of the wall of Liberty City like a dead dog. His body had been torn apart beyond recognition, and the bloodstains on his body were appalling. Everybody was astounded. Li Yu, an over-god who had comprehended 72 types of metal elemental powers, had been defeated by an ancient god. This blue-robed young man had really defeated an over-god with the power of an ancient god. Moreover, it was an over-god who had mastered 72 types of metal elemental powers. Everybody was astounded, in disbelief, shock, and fear. Besides Sang Song, Wang Guo and Dan Fei were equally astounded. As Sang Song's master, Lu Yiping should also be an over-god. However, he had defeated an over-god who had mastered 72 types of metal elemental powers just by using the power of an ancient god. If Lu Yiping had used the power of an over-god, how strong would he have been? Although the heavenly beast was shocked, it wasn't too surprised. Back in the lower realms, when Lu Yiping was fighting for the primal chaos heaven's will, he had used the strength of the 49 totems to kill hundreds of millions of ancient gods and 10 million heaven's will's god kings. Although Li Yu was an over-god who had mastered 72 types of metal elemental powers, it was impossible for him to kill hundreds of millions of ancient gods and millions of divine kings of destiny with one punch. Over-gods were much stronger than divine kings of destiny by hundreds or thousands of times. They could kill tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of divine kings of destiny with one punch. However, it was impossible for them to kill millions of divine kings of destiny with one punch. 49 totems to defeat an over-god of 72 types of metal elemental powers, a miracle since ancient times. The Golden Crow young man exclaimed, "If this person doesn't die, he will definitely become a sovereign lord." Sovereign lord. Hearing this, everyone's hearts trembled. Not to mention a sovereign lord, even an ordinary sovereign lord was in existence that could shake the heavens. A genius even more monstrous than Sui Tai and Wen Yufeng has appeared. I'm afraid the divine world is going to be rocked by great waves. Elder Yen sighed. Li Yu struggled to stand up, trembling. He spat out a mouthful of blood as he looked at Lu Yiping with fear in his eyes. Lu Yiping walked towards Li Yu. Li Yu retreated in fear, but there was nowhere to run. Behind him was Carefree City's city walls. At this time, a huge flying ship broke through the air. Seeing this huge flying ship, everyone hurriedly retreated. Extraordinary Divine Sect. The Golden Crow young man was shocked when he saw the flying ship. The Extraordinary Divine Sect, Jade Water Palace, and Upper Origin Mansion were the three major forces in the Over-God Sea, and the Extraordinary Divine Sect was the leader of the three. Not only was the Extraordinary Divine Sect the strongest force in the Over-God Sea, but it was also one of the four major forces in the Over-God Sea. The Extraordinary Divine Sect had as many Over-God experts as clouds in the sky, and it was said that there were more than 10,000 of them. Li Yu was overjoyed when he saw the flying ship, and he ran towards it with all his might. Seeing this, Li Guang also followed behind Li Yu, running towards the Extraordinary Divine Sect's flying ship. A young man stood at the head of the Extraordinary Divine Sect's flying ship. He was the Extraordinary Divine Sect's young sect master, Yang Su. Yang Su and the Extraordinary Divine Sect's experts originally planned to come to Carefree God Island to buy some things, but when they saw the 49 totems from afar and felt the shocking power of the 49 totems, they couldn't help but increase their speed and rush over with the Extraordinary Divine Sect's experts. Young sect master Yang Su, please save me. Li Yu rushed to the front of the flying ship and knelt down with Li Guang. The Blood Demon Church was a subordinate force of the Extraordinary Divine Sect, and Li Yu and Yang Su had a close relationship. Yang Su and the Extraordinary Divine Sect's experts were stunned when they saw Li Yu's tattered body. They didn't expect Li Yu to be the one who attacked them. Moreover, Li Yu was beaten to such a state by the 49 Totems' ancient god. Yang Su looked at Lu Yiping. When he saw Lu Yiping's 49 totems above the Jiutian divine sects, his heart trembled. Originally, he came here to get to know this monstrous genius with 49 totems, but when he saw Li Yu kneeling in front of him, he couldn't help but hesitate. The Blood Demon Church was a subordinate force of the Extraordinary Divine Sect, and Li Yu was a general under his father's command. Li Yu had made great contributions to his father, and this was something that everyone in the Master God Sea knew. Could it be that he was going to watch Li Yu be killed by the other party? If news of this spread out, the Extraordinary Divine Sect would be spurned by the Master God Sea and the surrounding continents. Who would dare to submit to the Extraordinary Divine Sect in the future? Chapter 356. Various thoughts flashed through Yang Su's mind. Looking at Lu Yiping, he cupped his fists and said, "This one is the young sect master of the marvelous divine sect, Yang Su. I wonder if there is any enmity between Li Yu and your excellency. Yang Su is one of my father's subordinates. If your excellency can give my marvelous divine sect some face and let Li Yu go, my marvelous divine sect will be eternally grateful." Yang Su's attitude was extremely sincere and polite. Who was Yang Su? He was the young sect master of the marvelous divine sect, one of the 4 great forces in the Overgod Sea. It could be said that if he wanted wind, if he wanted rain, he could get rain. Even if he was facing a peak Overgod realm master, he didn't need to be so polite. But now, he was being polite and sincere to Lu Yiping. Everyone turned to look at Lu Yiping, including the Golden Crow youth. However, Lu Yiping didn't look at Yang Su, nor did he respond. He continued to walk towards Li Yu. Yang Su and the others from the marvelous god sect frowned. At this time, Lu Yiping suddenly punched out. 49 totems were activated, and fist waves rolled out, piercing through the sky as it shot towards Li Yu. Li Yu's face paled as he fled towards Yang Su's flying ship. At the same time, he shouted, "Young sect master, save me." Beside Yang Su, the marvelous divine sect's grand elder Lin Qing was enraged when he saw the fist waves flying towards Li Yu. He suddenly punched out to meet Lu Yiping's fist waves, wanting to block Lu Yiping's fist waves. Boom! The 2 fist waves collided. However, Lu Yiping's fist waves instantly blasted Lin Qing's fist waves away before slamming into Li Yu's body with unstoppable force. Li Yu was smashed into the marvelous divine sect's flying ship, causing it to sway from the impact. At the same time, Li Yu's body exploded, his flesh and blood flying everywhere. The marvelous flying ship was filled with Li Yu's flesh and blood. Many of the marvelous divine sect's experts couldn't dodge in time and were sent flying by the fist waves. Lin Qing, who wanted to block Lu Yiping's fist waves, was sent flying out of the marvelous divine sect's flying ship. Everyone was shocked. Yang Su was pushed back by the shockwave. After he steadied himself, he glared at Lu Yiping angrily. At this time, Li Guang soared into the air, wanting to escape. Just as Li Guang flew up, he saw a gigantic golden pillar slamming down from the sky. Li Guang was directly blasted into the ground by the golden pillar. The Golden Crow young man looked at the golden pillar that was tens of thousands of feet tall and looked like a mountain of gold. He was shocked and doubtful. A connate cardinal treasure. Above acquired spiritual treasures were acquired cardinal treasures, connate spiritual treasures, and connate cardinal treasures. Even in the upper realm, innate supreme treasures were rare. For example, the Origin Wondrous Divine Sect, one of the 4 great forces in the Prime Spirit Sea, only had one innate supreme treasure, the Wondrous Diagram. Taurus Longjiao reached out and grabbed the heavenly pillar. The heavenly pillar shrank and returned to his hand. Everyone looked at Taurus Longjiao. At this time, a loud bang rang out as Lin Qing, who had been sent flying out of the extraordinary wonder ship, crashed to the ground. Lin Qing vomited blood as he glared at Lu Yiping in shock and anger. He was a wind element over-god who had comprehended 90 types of wind element force, yet he couldn't withstand a single punch from Lu Yiping. Several hundred origin wondrous divine sect experts were about to step forward, but Yang Su hurriedly ordered them to retreat. In the end, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao's group of 6 left by stepping on air. After Lu Yiping's group left, Yang Su also left with the origin wondrous divine sect. The Golden Crow young man looked at Lu Yiping's departing figure and said, "This person's battle strength is probably comparable to a peak over god." Someone who had cultivated all 99 types of power to the limit would be known as a peak lord of a particular power. Although Lin Qing had comprehended 90 types of wind element force, compared to a peak over god with 99 types of wind element force, the difference in battle strength was huge. A peak over god? That's impossible, right? An expert beside the Golden Crow young man said. Elder Yen looked at Lu Yiping's departing figure and said, "I'm afraid it's more than that." More than that? The Golden Crow young man and the Golden Crow clan experts were shocked. Overgods had a lifespan of tens of millions of years, and some overgods cultivated 2 types of laws. Elder Yen was saying that this blue-robed young man called Lu Yiping had battle strength comparable to a overgod who cultivated 2 types of laws. After Lu Yiping's group entered Liberty City, they went straight to the material market. However, Wang Gua and Dan Fei, who were following behind Lu Yiping, were still thinking about the scene of Li Yu being killed by the 49 totems. Wang Gua and Dan Fei were both Heavenly Palace experts who had grown up on the Blood Demon continent. It could be said that they had grown up listening to Li Yu's legends. To the experts of the various sects and clans on the Blood Demon continent, Li Yu was an insurmountable mountain. However, just now, this insurmountable mountain had been killed by Lu Yiping's ancient god power with a single punch. After arriving at the material market, Lu Yiping's group bought the materials they needed for the new year, then strolled around for a while before leaving Liberty City. By the time Lu Yiping's group left Liberty City, the news of Li Yu's death had already spread. The Overgod Sea and 100 or so continents around the Overgod Sea were in an uproar. Li Yu was the #1 expert on the Blood Demon continent. His death was already shocking news, not to mention that he had been killed by an ancient god with 49 totems. After leaving Liberty City, Lu Yiping's group was in no hurry to return to Spirit Turtle Island. They walked and stopped along the way. By the time they returned to Spirit Turtle Island, the new year was near. Wang Gua, Dan Fei, Tsang Song, and Tian Shou redecorated Spirit Turtle Island. Spirit Turtle Island was in a festive mood. Just as Wang Gua, Dan Fei, and Tsang Song were about to light a bonfire, Lu Yiping said there was no need. He then summoned the Sun Fusong tree. Tsang Song and the others were stunned as they looked at the Sun Fusong tree burning with sunfire. "This is the Sun Fusong tree?" Wang Gua stuttered, his voice trembling. "Didn't they say that the Sun Fusong tree had been chopped down in ancient times?" "Let's use the sun fire to roast something later," Lu Yiping said. "Use the sun fire of the Sun Fusong tree to roast something." Tsang Song and the others gulped. Taurus Longjiao took out a large bucket of spirit turtle fish that he had caught earlier. Then, he picked up the biggest and fattest one and threw it up. The big and fat spirit turtle fish was thrown into the sun fire of the Sun Fusong tree. It fell down in the blink of an eye. When it fell down and extinguished, the fish's body emitted a fragrant aroma and a hint of golden fire. It was already cooked. Tsang Song and the others were dumbfounded as they looked at the spirit turtle fish that was already cooked. "Is this even possible?" Taurus Longjiao casually picked up another one and threw it up. As if he was juggling, he threw the fish up one by one. His movements were very practiced. In the several thousand years in the lower realm's heavenly palace, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao had used sun fire to roast things many times. Therefore, Taurus Longjiao's movements were very practiced. While Taurus Longjiao was skillfully throwing the spirit turtle fish into the sun fire, Futu Island's dragon Futu glared at Wei Quan. "What did you say? That brat in the ice prison escaped?" "Yes." Wei Quan lowered his head, not daring to look at Dragon Futu. "Then why aren't you looking for him?" Dragon Futu roared, "If we can't find that brat and the higher-ups blame us, we will all die." Chapter 357. "Yes, Lord." Wei Quan hurriedly added, "Don't worry, Lord. I've already sent out experts to search for him. He can't have gone far." Floating Dragon ordered solemnly, "Seal off the surrounding sea region. Also, warn the divine palaces on the surrounding islands. Whoever dares to hide that kid, don't blame me for slaughtering them." Above a certain sea region southeast of Floating Dragon Island, a figure was dodging the Floating Dragon Island's expert search. This figure was none other than the ancient evil god Chang Liang, who had gone missing in the lower realm. Chang Liang's robe was tattered, and the evil god blade was nowhere to be seen. A voice sounded from afar, "Kid, the surrounding sea region has been sealed off by our Floating Dragon Island. You can't escape. You'd better surrender obediently. Otherwise, when we catch you, you'll suffer." It was Floating Dragon Island's Wei Quan's voice. Chang Liang did not utter a word, continuing to fly with his aura concealed. Although Chang Liang was flying with his aura concealed, he was still discovered by Floating Dragon Island's experts. A group of Floating Dragon Island's master gods attacked, forcing Chang Liang to flee. While fleeing, Chang Liang saw a tortoise-shaped island in the distance. Just as he was about to fly toward the island, a flying blade whistled through the air. It was none other than his evil god blade. Chang Liang was alarmed. He tried to dodge, but he was a step too late. The evil god blade struck his back. The powerful force from the evil god blade propelled him forward. His throat heated up and he vomited a mouthful of blood. Chang Liang ignored his injuries and continued to flee. After the evil god blade struck Chang Liang, it spun in the air and returned to Wei Quan's hand. During the time Floating Dragon Island had imprisoned Chang Liang, Wei Quan had erased the evil god's divine sense from the evil god blade and reforged it into his own divine weapon. Indifferent, Wei Quan looked at Chang Liang, who was vomiting blood and running away. He sneered, "Kid, let's see where you can run to now." Then, he and the Floating Dragon Island's experts continued their pursuit. Chang Liang continued to flee, falling onto the tortoise-shaped island. By the time he landed on the island's surface, he was already at the end of his rope. He didn't even have the strength to crawl. Wei Quan and the Floating Dragon Island's experts rushed to the Spirit's Turtle Island. However, Wei Quan and the Floating Dragon Island's experts stopped. No one dared to enter the island. News of what had happened in Liberty City had already spread. Naturally, the experts of Futu Island had also heard about it. "Lord Wei Quan, what should we do?" One of the experts from Futu Island asked hesitantly. Wei Quan could not help but hesitate when he saw Chang Liang fall to the ground. He could tell that Chang Liang was already at the end of his rope. He had completely lost the ability to fight back. As long as they entered Spirit Turtle Island, they would be able to capture Chang Liang and bring him back. He was unwilling to give up just like that. He muttered, "We've only been on the island for a few breaths. As long as we bring this kid out, there shouldn't be any problems." Afterwards, he said to an over-god beside him, "Go in and take this kid out. Don't stay on Spirit Turtle Island any longer." The over-god nodded and snuck into the island. Afterwards, he flew towards Chang Liang, who had fallen on the ground. Inside the pine cavern, Taurus Longjiao, who was continuously throwing fish into the fire of the sun, suddenly stopped and said, "Someone came in." Lu Yiping opened his eye of lightning punishment. When he saw Chang Liang, who had fallen on the beach outside Spirit Turtle Island, he was stunned. Chang Liang. Taurus Longjiao was stunned. He also opened his heavenly eye and was overjoyed. It really is Chang Liang. His figure flashed and he disappeared from where he was. Lu Yiping also tore through the void, bringing Wang Guo, Shan Fei, and the others with him. Wang Guo, Shan Fei, and the others only felt the scenery before them change. They had already arrived at the shore outside Spirit Turtle Island. Taurus Longjiao arrived beside Chang Liang and helped him up. Chang Liang. Chang Liang, who was already at the end of his rope, was about to fall asleep when he suddenly heard Taurus Longjiao's voice. He could not help but tremble. He struggled to open his eyes. When he saw that it was really Taurus Longjiao, he was filled with disbelief. Senior Xiao Jin. His eyes were filled with joy. Then, he saw Lu Yiping. Lord. You've also come to the upper realm. He did not expect that Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao would also come to the upper realm. Moreover, he would run into Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao here at the Master God Sea. Seeing that Chang Liang was already at the end of his rope, Lu Yiping sent a green light into Chang Liang's body. In an instant, the green light enveloped Chang Liang's body, and the wound on his back healed at a speed visible to the naked eye. At the same time, Lu Yiping summoned the Divine Tree of Life. The vitality energy within the Divine Tree of Life surged into Chang Liang's body. The Futu Island's experts, who were cautiously stepping into Spirit Turtle Island, suddenly saw Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and Song Song appear. They were so frightened that they stopped in their tracks. When he saw that Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were acquainted with the kid they were trying to capture, his face turned ashen. Although he had never seen Lu Yiping before, he could guess that the blue-robed young man in front of him was the same Lu Yiping who had killed Li Yu with 49 totems. In the distance, Wei Quan and the Futu Island's experts paled when they saw that Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were acquainted with Chang Liang. This kid that they had imprisoned on Futu Island was acquainted with Lu Yiping. However, when they saw Lu Yiping's Divine Tree of Life, their attention was drawn to the Divine Tree of Life. Such terrifying vitality energy. Could it be the Divine Tree of Life? One of the Futu Island's experts exclaimed in shock. The Divine Tree of Life. Everyone's heart skipped a beat when they heard the name. In the past, the barbarian dragon sovereign had issued a bounty for the Divine World's experts to find the Divine Tree of Life. The bounty was 1,000,000,000,000 Chaos Spirit Stones. Before the barbarian dragon sovereign had fallen, the Divine World had set off a frenzy to find the Divine Tree of Life. After the barbarian dragon sovereign had fallen, the frenzy to find the Divine Tree of Life had gradually died down. The Divine Tree of Life that the Divine World's experts had been searching for was now in Lu Yiping's hands. After the Divine Tree of Life's vitality energy flowed into Chang Liang's body, color returned to Chang Liang's face. His breathing stabilized, and his vitality returned to normal. Sensing Chang Liang's transformation, Wei Quan and the others were even more certain that it was the Divine Tree of Life. Lord, they are the Dark Borer race's experts. Chang Liang, who had returned to normal, said to Lu Yiping, referring to the Futu Island's experts. Lu Yiping's eyes turned frosty at Chang Liang's words, and he looked at the Futu Island's experts. Wei Quan's face tightened, and he ordered the Futu Island's experts, quickly retreat. However, just as the Futu Island's experts were about to retreat, rays of light shot out from the Futu Island, enveloping the surrounding sea in an instant. An invisible wall of qi surrounded the Futu Island, isolating them from the outside world. Just as one of the Futu Island's experts was about to break through the wall of qi, chaos qi shot out from the wall of qi, and that Futu Island's expert was sent flying back while vomiting blood. Could it be the heaven-confusing chaos grand formation? Wei Quan was shocked. The heaven-confusing chaos grand formation was famous for its prowess. It was the Divine World's hegemon, the heaven-confusing divine sex divine formation. Chapter 358. That's right, the heaven-confusing chaos array. Lu Yiping stood with his hands behind his back as he walked towards Wei Quan and the Stupa Island's experts. Hearing Lu Yiping say that it was the heaven-confusing chaos array, Wei Quan and the Stupa Island's experts were shocked. Although Futu Island wasn't weak in the main God Sea and could be considered an overlord, compared to the divine world's behemoth, Futu Island wasn't even an ant. They were nothing more than dust. This Lu Yiping in front of them knew how to use the heaven-confusing chaos array. Could it be that this Lu Yiping was an expert from the heaven-confusing divine sect? Moreover, the heaven-confusing chaos array was the heaven-confusing divine sect's most important divine formation. You're a disciple of the heaven-confusing divine sect. Wei Quan retreated in shock, but the heaven-confusing chaos array's walls blocked his path. Heaven-confusing divine sect. Lu Yiping was baffled. If you're not a disciple of the heaven-confusing divine sect, then how do you know how to use the heaven-confusing chaos array? Wei Quan asked doubtfully. Lu Yiping raised his hand and a suction force pulled Wei Quan in front of him. Wei Quan, who possessed 50 elements of lightning element, stared at Lu Yiping in fear. Lu Yiping retrieved Wei Quan's memory fragments and studied them one by one. When he was done, a streak of golden sun fire flew out from his finger and landed on Wei Quan's body, incinerating him in an instant. Even his godhead, totem, and heaven's will were reduced to ashes. Taurus Longjiao stepped forward and punched out. A single punch could destroy everything in its path. Waves rolled out from his fist, rising to the sky and swallowing the Stupa Island's experts whole. The Stupa Island's experts didn't even have the time to circulate their heaven's will or origin energy before they were hit by Taurus Longjiao's fist. Taurus Longjiao's fist covered the sky, and everything in its path crumbled. After the Stupa Island's experts were swallowed whole, the light from the fist wave lingered for a long time. A long time later, when the light dissipated, the Stupa Island's experts were all gone. Completely gone. They had completely disappeared. Tian Shou, Wang Gua, Dan Fei, and even Song Song were all stunned. There were several hundred over-gods on the island. Some weren't as strong as Wei Quan, but they weren't that much weaker. The rest were at least god monarchs with 10 wills or more. However, Taurus Longjiao annihilated them with a single punch. Even Changliang was shocked. He was well aware of how difficult it was to break through to the Master God realm. These Master Gods were experts who had cultivated for millions of years in the God world above. However, several hundred Master Gods and tens of thousands of God Kings with more than 10 heavenly wills were unable to withstand a single punch from Taurus Longjiao. At this moment, on Futu Island, Long Futu was pacing back and forth, feeling a little restless. Wei Quan and the others still haven't sent back any news. Long Futu asked his subordinate. Don't worry, my lord. Lord Wei Quan and the others have already sealed off the surrounding waters. Given the strength of Lord Wei Quan and the others, the other party will definitely not be able to escape. The subordinate laughed respectfully. After waiting for a while, Long Futu asked his subordinate to contact Wei Quan. However, what made his subordinate stunned was that they were unable to contact Wei Quan. Long Futu's face sank when he learned that he couldn't contact Wei Quan. Right at this time, a loud boom resounded on Futu Island, as if it had suffered a devastating blow. The island shook violently as if it was about to collapse. Long Futu and his subordinates were shocked. They shot into the air and arrived above the Futu Divine Manor. When they arrived, they saw an unforgettable scene. High in the air, a blue-robed young man suddenly punched down. An incomparably huge fist imprint blazing with golden flames blasted apart the Futu Island's grand formation and restrictions. Then, it smashed onto the island like a falling star. Boom! Futu Island exploded. The fist imprint struck the Futu Divine Manor at the center of Futu Island. The Futu Divine Manor that spanned tens of thousands of miles was blasted away in an instant. The terrifying fist imprint plowed through the layers of Futu Island's ground, piercing through Futu Island and smashing into the bottom of the Master God Sea below. The Master God Sea exploded 10 million feet below. Even though they were separated by 10 million feet of water, the earth-shaking explosion still caused pain in the ears of Long Futu and the remaining experts on Futu Island. They lost their sense of hearing. The destructive force slammed into the bottom of the Master God Sea. Tens of thousands of waves soared into the sky. The sea water within several miles of Futu Island seemed to be boiling as it roiled endlessly. Layers upon layers of waves slammed into the islands far away, causing the islands to shake. The exploding waves carried a shocking force as they slammed into the group of experts on Futu Island. Some of the Master God experts on Futu Island reacted in shock. However, the power of origin laws shone brightly in the sky. The force of the explosive waves far exceeded their imagination. The experts on Futu Island were all sent flying by the waves. Long Futu and a few of his subordinates continuously dodged the exploding waves in fear. When the waves and the terrifying explosions finally stopped, Long Futu and the others stabilized themselves. Looking over, they saw that the Futu Divine Manor at the center of Futu Island had been completely pierced through, turning into a huge black hole. Seawater was gushing out from that black hole. After Futu Island was completely pierced through, seawater was gushing out from the bottom of the sea along the black hole. Looking at the turbulent seawater gushing out from the black hole, Long Futu and the remaining experts on Futu Island couldn't help but tremble in fear. Especially Long Futu. His face was so pale that there was no trace of blood. The underground of Futu Island was made of the god world's hardest diamond. It was abnormally sturdy. Moreover, the Futu Divine Manor had been thoroughly tempered by him for 3 million years. The ground around it was extremely sturdy and its defense was astonishing. He knew that even if he attacked with his full strength, he wouldn't be able to shake the Futu Divine Manor. But now, it was directly pierced through by this blue-robed young man. He looked at Lu Yiping. When he saw Chang Liang beside Lu Yiping, he became even more flustered, frightened, and uneasy. Lu Yiping looked at Long Futu coldly as he walked towards him. Long Futu knew that there was no hope for him to escape, so he didn't try. He suppressed the fear in his heart and cupped his fists towards Lu Yiping. I am Long Futu, a general under the Jade Water Palace Master. How should I address you? What business do you have on my Futu Island? Hearing Long Futu mention the Jade Water Palace, Lu Yiping's face was indifferent. He pulled the other party to his front. Long Futu, who possessed 70 types of wind element energy, was powerless before Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping repeated the same process and extracted Long Futu's memory fragments. After going through Long Futu's memories, Lu Yiping's eyes turned cold. He raised a finger and a finger force exploded Long Futu's body. As for the other people on Futu Island, Lu Yiping left them to Taurus Longjiao, Tsang Song, and Chang Liang. Of course, most of them were handled by Taurus Longjiao. Tsang Song, Chang Liang, and the others were only helping to clean up the mess. Lu Yiping had Tsang Song move the Futu Divine Manor's treasury away. He then returned to the Spirit Turtle Island with Taurus Longjiao, Tsang Song, and Chang Liang. After Lu Yiping's group left Futu Island, some of the experts from other islands in the distance turned pale with fright when they saw the destroyed Futu Island. Chapter 359. Not long after Lu Yiping's group returned to Spirit Turtle Island, news of Futu Island's destruction reached the Jade Water Palace. When Palace Master Zhao Tao heard the news, he frowned and asked his subordinate, the blue-robed young man who destroyed Futu Island was Lu Yiping? Yes, Palace Master, his subordinate quickly replied. Why? Zhao Tao's face darkened. We still don't know why Lu Yiping attacked Futu Island. His subordinate shook his head and hesitated. Palace Master, Futu Island is a subordinate force of our Jade Water Palace. It's impossible for Lu Yiping to not know. Could Lu Yiping be targeting our Jade Water Palace by doing this? Targeting our Jade Water Palace? Zhao Tao's daughter Zhao Yunyan's face turned cold. We have the Jade Water chilling sky array left behind by Lord Tianhong. If Lu Yiping dares to come, he's courting death. Tianhong was an over-god expert who comprehended the laws of wind, fire, and water. Moreover, each law contained more than 90 types of energy. Zhao Tao pondered, although we have the jade water chilling sky array left behind by Lord Tianhong, we still have to be careful. Send more people to strengthen the Jade Water Palace's defenses. Also, I'll see if I can contact Lord Tianhong. Also, check if the brat imprisoned by Lord Tianhong on Futu Island is dead. In a few days, Lord Kongling of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect will come. We have to make preparations to welcome him. The Thousand Souls Divine Sect was a colossal existence like the Heaven Confusion Divine Sect. Whether it was the prime god sea or the hundreds of continents around it, they were all ruled by the Thousand Souls Divine Sect. The Thousand Souls Divine Sect controlled tens of thousands of continents and endless seas. Kongling was a core disciple of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect. There was no need to doubt his status. After Lu Yiping's group returned to Spirit Turtle Island, Lu Yiping asked about ancient demon god Chang Liang's situation. It turned out that Chang Liang discovered the Yinba race's experts and chased them all the way to the heavens path. When he saw them enter the higher world, he followed them. Later on, he chased the other party to the Master God Sea, where he was imprisoned by the experts of Futu Island. However, the strange thing was that Futu Island only imprisoned him and did not kill him. Jade Water Palace. Lu Yiping read aloud. From the memory fragments of Floating Dragon, he knew that the Master God Ocean Jade Water Palace was one of the external forces of the Yin-Yang Bora race. In the lower realm, the Purple Extreme Demon clan had submitted to the Yin Bora clan. In the upper realm, other than the Purple Extreme Demon clan, many other ancient clans had submitted to the Yin Bora clan. There were countless external forces like the Jade Water Palace in the Dark Bora race. In the upper realm, the Dark Bora race was even more powerful. However, Lu Yiping wasn't in a hurry to head to the Jade Water Palace. In any case, the people of the Jade Water Palace couldn't escape. Several days passed. After several days of recuperation, Chang Liang's injuries had completely healed. In the past few days, Heavenly Beast had successfully comprehended the water maxim and broken through to Lord level. Early in the morning, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao left the Spirit Turtle Island and headed to the Jade Water Palace. Tsang Song, Chang Liang, and the rest stayed behind. While the two of them were heading to the Jade Water Palace, Palace Master Zhao Tao was leading a group of Jade Water Palace's experts to welcome Kongling. Under Zhao Tao, Zhao Yunyan, and the others welcoming, Kongling entered the Jade Water Palace's Jade Water Island. Kongling noticed that the number of guards patrolling the Jade Water Island had increased significantly compared to the last time he was here. Moreover, they looked as if they were about to face a great enemy. Zhao Tao then told him about Lu Yiping's matter. What, 49 totems? Kongling was shocked, and the experts accompanying him had a look of disbelief on their faces. The Sui family's Sui Tai only had 24 totems. Even so, it was enough to shock countless mainlands. In the past, when Sui Tai had condensed 24 totems, even their Thousand Souls Divine Sect's patriarch had personally visited the Wan family. After a discussion, he accepted Sui Tai as his legacy disciple on the spot. A legacy disciple's status was even higher than a direct disciple's. After Sui Tai was accepted as a legacy disciple by their Thousand Souls Divine Sect's patriarch, he had received the full support of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect and the Wan family. His cultivation had rapidly increased, and he had even condensed 24 Chaos Heaven's will. Now, his status in the Thousand Souls Divine Sect was simply beneath a single person. He had already been recognized as the next patriarch of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect. But now, a monstrous genius with 49 totems had appeared. Isn't this just a rumor? An expert beside Kongling asked in surprise. In this world, it's impossible for someone to condense 49 totems. Even the ruler of the divine world, the barbaric dragon sovereign, only managed to condense 26 totems when he was at the ancient god realm. It's absolutely true. Zhao Tao said, at that time, many masters of Carefree Island witnessed it with their own eyes. Even the young sect master of the exquisite divine sect, Yang Su, and the other masters of the exquisite divine sect also witnessed it. They even exchanged blows with Lu Yiping. He also spoke of how the exquisite divine sect's Lin Qing, who possessed 90 different powers of the wind attribute, had been sent flying by Lu Yiping. An ancient god actually sent a sovereign of 90 different powers of the wind attribute flying. Kong Ling and the other masters beside him were shocked. It wasn't easy for an ancient god to defeat an ordinary god king, but now, Lu Yiping had actually defeated a sovereign of 90 different powers of the wind attribute. Where is this Lu Yiping now? Kong Ling's eyes flashed. If such a monstrous genius could be taken in by his master, then his master's status in the Thousand Souls Divine Sect would inevitably rise. He's at Spirit Turtle Island, Zhao Tao said. Have someone lead the way. I want to go to Spirit Turtle Island and personally meet this Lu Yiping, Kong Ling said. At this moment, a miserable scream rang out. What's going on? Zhao Tao's face sank. It's Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping is here. One of his subordinates rushed in and reported. Lu Yiping. Kong Ling and the others were stunned. Turning around, they saw a blue-robed young man and a golden-haired brawny man walking through the air. Wherever they passed, the Jade Water Palace's disciples were sent flying by an invisible force. Kong Ling's eyes narrowed. This is the Heavenly Divine Sect's formless force. An expert beside Kong Ling exclaimed. Kong Ling frowned. How could this Lu Yiping know the Heavenly Divine Sect's formless force? The Heavenly Divine Sect and the Thousand Souls Divine Sect had always been like fire and water. The two sects had been fighting for several million years, and the enmity between them was deep. Could it be that Lu Yiping was a secret genius nurtured by the Heavenly Divine Sect? Kong Ling's original intention of recruiting Lu Yiping disappeared. If Lu Yiping was a member of the Heavenly Divine Sect, he definitely couldn't let him leave alive. In the blink of an eye, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao arrived in front of Kong Ling, Zhao Tao, and the others. Kong Ling looked at Lu Yiping and asked, You're Lu Yiping. I heard from Zhao Tao that you have 49 totems. What you used just now was the Heavenly Divine Sect's formless force. Lu Yiping ignored Kong Ling and looked at Zhao Tao, Jade Water Palace's palace master, Zhao Tao. Zhao Tao looked at Lu Yiping, but he didn't answer Lu Yiping's question. Instead, he introduced to Lu Yiping, this is the Thousand Souls Divine Sect's Lord Kong Ling. Lord Kong Ling is a core disciple of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect, and he's also the personal disciple of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect's Grand Elder, Lord Wuxia. Lord Wuxia is a supreme expert. Chapter 360. Above the Master Gods were the God Emperors. Above the God Emperors were the God Ancestors. Above the God Ancestors were the Paramount Gods. Above the Paramount Gods were the Sovereigns. The Paramount Gods were the strongest under the Sovereigns of the Divine World. A Paramount God could cause countless continents to tremble with just a stomp of his foot. Not to mention a Paramount God, even an ordinary God Emperor could easily destroy a Master God Sea and the hundreds of continents around it. The power of a God Emperor was unimaginable, not to mention a God Ancestor or a Paramount God. Hearing Zhao Tao say that Kong Ling's master was a Paramount God, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao remained calm. Taurus Longjiao looked at Zhao Tao with cold eyes. My master hates dogs that submit to the Dark Borer race the most. Anyone who submitted to the Dark Borer race must die. Kong Ling was stunned. Dark Borer race? He couldn't help but look at Zhao Tao. Clearly, he didn't expect Zhao Tao to be a member of the Dark Borer race. Zhao Tao said to Kong Ling, Lord Kong Ling, this Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao are talking nonsense. Don't listen to them. Kong Ling nodded. Zhao Tao's daughter, Zhao Yunyan, suddenly shouted, activate the jade water chilling sky array. As soon as Zhao Tao's daughter finished speaking, rays of light shot into the sky from every corner of the jade water palace. Giant pillars of jade water rose into the sky, exuding a frightening cold energy. In an instant, cold energy swept through the entire jade water palace, enveloping Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. This cold energy wasn't ordinary cold energy, but the 9 underworlds energy in the sea below the jade water island. This 9 underworlds energy came from the depths of the 9 underworlds, the pinnacle of cold energy. Its power far surpassed other cold energy. The 9 underworlds energy shook the sky above the jade water island, causing the clouds in the sky to sway. Under the jade water chilling sky array's power, the jade water palace's space felt like it was about to freeze. The surrounding sea was frozen into ice. The water that was floating just a moment ago had completely turned into ice, emitting a frightening cold mist. Kill! Zhao Yunyan shouted sternly. White mist surged out from her body and she emitted a shocking cold aura. Zhao Yunyan also cultivated the laws of water, but her laws of water had mutated and she now possessed the energy of cold. Once the power of water mutated and gained the power of ice, the power of the laws of water would increase greatly. Originally, of the 13 laws of water, wood, wind, fire, earth, metal, lightning, poison, darkness, light, time, space, and fate, the law of water was the weakest. But once the law of water mutated, its offensive power would surpass that of the wood and wind laws. Within Zhao Yunyan's water laws, various types of energy constantly surged forth, shockingly reaching a total of 87 types. With 87 types of water laws, Zhao Yunyan was definitely one of the strongest over-god sea experts of her generation. Her strength was close to the older generation of over-gods like Lin Qing from the Wonder Divine sect. Zhao Yunyan's water-type cold energy poured into the jade water chilling sky grand array, and the cold energy within the jade water chilling sky grand array erupted like a volcano. The water law over gods of the jade water palace also urged the law of water in their bodies and poured it into the jade water chilling sky grand array. The cold energy of the jade water chilling sky grand array surged, enveloping the entire sea region around the jade water palace. Under the urging of Zhao Yunyan and the others, the cold energy of the jade water chilling sky grand array condensed into ice dragons that roared as they charged towards Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. In an instant, they arrived in front of Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. Young master, should we stop them? An expert beside Kong Ling asked. Kong Ling shook his head, no need. He then said, I also want to see how powerful Lu Yiping's 49 totems are. With several hundred water over gods of the Jade Water Palace working together, even if it was just an ordinary attack, the power would be unparalleled. Even a palace master like Zhao Tao would not be able to withstand the joint attack of several hundred water over gods. It must be known that the majority of these water over gods of the Jade Water Palace had comprehended more than 50 types of energy. Moreover, these hundreds of water over gods of the Jade Water chilling sky grand array's attack was much, much more powerful than an ordinary attack. The countless ice dragons condensed from the cold energy of the Jade Water chilling sky grand array were about to attack Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao, but Lu Yiping remained unmoving. Suddenly, Taurus Longjiao's entire body trembled with golden light. His golden hair, in particular, emitted a dazzling golden radiance. Space trembled abnormally. A surge of primal chaos energy surged out from Taurus Longjiao's body. Under this surge of energy, the frozen surface of the sea began to shatter once more. The deathly green cold energy of the Jade Water Palace that had frozen space began to dissipate. Kong Ling, Zhao Tao, and the others were bewildered. What was this surge of primal chaos energy? Just as they were wondering what it was, they saw an incomparably resplendent, incomparably enormous primal chaos energy fly out. This primal chaos energy was larger than any of the primal chaos energy they had seen in the past, reaching 130,000 li. No, to be exact, it was 139,999 li. Primal Chaos Energy, a Grade 13 Primal Chaos Energy. Kong Ling, Zhao Tao, and the others shuddered. Moreover, it wasn't an ordinary Primal Chaos Energy, but a peak Grade 13 Primal Chaos Energy that was close to 140,000 Li. A peak Grade 13 Primal Chaos Energy was the strongest Primal Chaos Energy. Even some sovereigns in the divine world might not necessarily be able to integrate a Grade 13 Primal Chaos Energy when they were God Kings. As for sovereigns who had integrated a peak Grade 13 Primal Chaos Energy, they were even rarer. It seemed that only the barbarian dragon sovereign had integrated a Primal Chaos Energy when he was a God King. The moment Taurus Longjiao's Primal Chaos Energy flew out, it shattered the surrounding ice completely, causing the cold energy of the jade water chilling sky grand array to stagnate. At this time, another Primal Chaos Energy flew out. It was still 139,999 Li. The surrounding frozen sea continued to crumble. Subsequently, the third Primal Chaos Energy flew out. The fourth, the fifth, and the sixth. 6 Primal Chaos Wills, all of which were 139,999 Li. The 6 Primal Chaos Wills spanned across the sky, completely covering the Jade Water Island and the surrounding sea. Streaks of Primal Chaos Energy that carried lightning energy attacked the surrounding area. These streaks of Primal Chaos Energy condensed into Primal Chaos Lightning Dragons that collided with the ice dragons of the Jade Water chilling sky grand array, instantly destroying them. The Primal Chaos Lightning Dragons blotted out the sky and flooded toward the Jade Water Palace. The Jade Water chilling sky grand array's water pillars were instantly shattered by the Primal Chaos Lightning Dragons. Zhao Yunyan and the other overgods of the Jade Water Palace paled at the sight of the Primal Chaos Lightning Dragons that blotted out the sky. Zhao Tao roared in fear, "All overgods of the Jade Water Palace, attack!" With that, he circulated the 99 types of lightning energy and attacked the Primal Chaos Lightning Dragons with all his might. Chapter 361. However, it was useless. Zhao Tao's 99 types of lightning-attributed energy bombarded the Primal Chaos Lightning Dragon's body. With a loud boom, the Primal Chaos Lightning Dragon shot out layers upon layers of Primal Chaos Lightning Dragon. Zhao Tao's 99 types of lightning-attributed energy were completely useless in front of the Primal Chaos Lightning Dragon. When the experts of the Jade Water Palace saw that their palace master's 99 types of lightning-attributed energy were completely useless in front of the Primal Chaos Lightning Dragon, they couldn't help but be shocked. Amidst their shock, the 10,000 overgod experts of the Jade Water Palace frantically activated the laws within their bodies and bombarded the Primal Chaos Lightning Dragon. Zhao Yunyan and the water-attributed overgods even activated the Jade Water chilling sky formation with all their might, attacking the Primal Chaos Lightning Dragon as if their lives depended on it. They attempted to stop the Primal Chaos Lightning Dragon's advance. However, it was still useless. The 10,000 overgod experts of the Jade Water Palace gathered the laws of water, earth, wind, metal, and lightning and bombarded the Primal Chaos Lightning Dragon. The Primal Chaos Lightning Dragon only trembled slightly, but it still continued to flood the Jade Water Palace. The Primal Chaos Lightning Dragon was like a vast ocean, while the attacks of the Jade Water Palace's 10,000 overgod experts were like boulders smashing into the ocean. They were completely useless. Zhao Yunyan and the water-attributed overgods activated the Jade Water chilling sky formation to condense an ice dragon once more and collided with the Primal Chaos Lightning Dragon once more. Lightning exploded and ice shards flew all over the sky. The ice dragon exploded once more, while the Primal Chaos Lightning Dragon continued to bombard the Jade Water Palace with unstoppable momentum. The experts of the Jade Water Palace turned pale with fright as they watched the unstoppable Primal Chaos Lightning Dragon. "Lord Kong Ling and the Lords of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect, please help us." Zhao Tao roared in terror, "The Jade Water Palace will definitely remember this great kindness." Kong Ling hesitated for a moment, then shouted at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao, "The Jade Water Palace is subordinate to my Thousand Souls Divine Sect. Please stay your hands." However, Taurus Longjiao turned a deaf ear to him, controlling the primal chaos lightning dragon to continue bombarding the Jade Water Palace. Rumble. The primal chaos lightning dragon slammed into the Jade Water chilling sky formation's energy barrier. A loud explosion that shook the sky. The Jade Water chilling sky formation shattered instantly. The primordial chaos lightning dragon roared and blasted into the Jade Water Palace. The sovereigns of the Jade Water Palace fled in terror, but they were instantly devoured by the primordial chaos lightning dragon. Zhao Tao looked at the primal chaos lightning dragon and an umbrella appeared in his hand. Lightning flashed on the umbrella, and it was covered with all kinds of lightning runes. Thunder Mirror Umbrella. With Zhao Tao's lightning attribute energy, the lightning mirror umbrella spewed out lightning and formed a lightning mirror in front of him. At the same time, he shouted at his daughter, Zhao Yunyan, use the lightning escape divine talisman. Zhao Yunyan came back to her senses, and a divine talisman appeared in her hand. She crushed the lightning escape divine talisman, and the power of the lightning escape divine talisman enveloped her and Zhao Tao. It tore apart the void around them and brought them away. However, the two of them discovered that the torn space had suddenly solidified and was actually mending itself. The chaotic thunder dragon struck the thunder mirror umbrella. When the lightning mirror umbrella opened, Zhao Tao and Zhao Yunyan felt their bodies stiffen as they were thrown into the air. The primordial chaos lightning dragon roiled and devoured all the experts of the Jade Water Palace. Then, it plowed through the air above the Jade Water Palace and blasted towards the other side of the Jade Water Island. On the other side, huge waves rose up from the sea. It was as if a huge path had been plowed through the sea, leading to an extremely distant island. In the end, the primordial chaos lightning dragon slammed into the island. Mountains crumbled and the earth cracked. The island, which was like a small continent, crumbled and turned into countless rocks that sank to the bottom of the Overgod Sea. Because the primordial chaos lightning dragon wasn't attacking Kong Ling and the experts of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect, Kong Ling and the experts of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect barely managed to dodge the primordial chaos lightning dragon's attack. Even so, Kong Ling and the experts of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect were scared out of their wits when they saw the primordial chaos lightning dragon roiling past them and felt the terrifying primordial chaos lightning dragon's aura. After a long time, the shattered island finally sank to the bottom of the sea. Occasionally, dust and smoke would rise from the bottom of the sea. Apart from Zhao Tao and Zhao Yunyan, the other experts of the Jade Water Palace had disappeared. There were only a few fragments of divine armors on the surface of the sea. Under the power of a peak rank 13 primordial chaos mandate, the overgods of the Jade Water Palace were annihilated. Even their totems and heavenly wills were blasted to smithereens. Kong Ling and the experts of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect couldn't help but shudder when they saw the overgods of the Jade Water Palace being annihilated. Although the overgods of the Jade Water Palace were only overgods who had comprehended a single element of power, they were still genuine overgods. Yet, they were annihilated in a single blow. Kong Ling's expression turned ugly at the same time. Lu Yiping pulled the lightning mirror umbrella to him with a single hand. The lightning mirror umbrella was a supreme-grade innate spiritual treasure that was infinitely close to an innate supreme treasure. Its power wasn't weak at all. Moreover, judging from the lightning symbols on it, it should be a lightning attribute divine artifact of the primordial heavenly quartz lightning division. It was a pity that Zhao Tao was too weak to fully utilize the lightning mirror umbrella's power. Before Lu Yiping could do anything, Zhao Tao and Zhao Yunyan were brought before Lu Yiping. Zhao Yunyan glared at Lu Yiping in shock and anger. Lu Yiping, the Yinba race is far stronger than the Thousand Souls Divine Sect. Even 10,000 Souls Divine Sects wouldn't be a match for the Yinba race. You will regret this. Lu Yiping raised a finger and pointed at Zhao Yunyan. Zhao Yunyan and the space around her were blasted into nothingness. Zhao Tao glared at Lu Yiping with hatred in his eyes. Lu Yiping took out a fragment of Zhao Tao's soul, studied it, and crushed him to death. Kong Ling watched as Zhao Yunyan and Zhao Tao were killed by Lu Yiping. Zhao Yunyan's last words proved that the Jadewater Palace's people were from the Yinba race. No one knew how strong the Yinba race was, but in the past tens of millions of years, the divine world had seen many great wars, and the shadow of the Yinba race was always behind them. In the divine world, if there was a race strong enough to influence the entire divine world, it was the Yinba race. Half a day later. Inside the extraordinary divine sect's main hall. Yang Su stared at the report in disbelief. According to the report, half a day ago, the Jadewater Palace was destroyed by Lu Yiping and his golden retriever subordinates. His subordinate, Lin Qing, was also shocked after reading the report. Although the Jadewater Palace was weaker than the extraordinary divine sect, it was still one of the three major forces in the Overgod Sea. The Jadewater Palace had 10,000 Overgod realm experts, and even the extraordinary divine sect didn't dare to say that they could destroy the Jadewater Palace because of the Jadewater freezing sky formation. Do you know what happened during the battle? Yang Su asked one of his subordinates. That expert stammered. According to the people on the surrounding islands, they saw 6 incomparably huge chaos heavens wills, and each one was 139,999 li long. You mean to say that Lu Yiping's heavens wills are 139,999 li long? Yang Su couldn't believe it. Are you sure it's 139,999 li long? Chapter 362. 139,999 li. The expert replied with certainty. Many experts around the Jadewater Palace saw it and confirmed it repeatedly. He hesitated for a moment before continuing. However, it's not Lu Yiping's mandate, but Lu Yiping's subordinate, the Golden Retriever. What? Lu Yiping's subordinate, the Golden Retriever's mandate, is a rank 13 Chaos mandate. Moreover, it's a peak rank 13 Chaos mandate. Yang Su couldn't believe it. Yes. The expert stammered. At that time, Lu Yiping's subordinate used 6 rank 13 Chaos mandates to activate the Chaos Lightning Dragon and annihilate all the overgods in the Jadewater Palace. Even with Zhao Tao's Lightning Mirror Umbrella, he couldn't stop the 6 Chaos Wills. Yang Su, Lin Qing, and the rest were stunned for a long time. A peak rank 13 Chaos mandate had appeared in the divine world, but the opponent was Lu Yiping's subordinate. This Lu Yiping's mandate can't be a peak rank 13 Chaos mandate as well, right? Lin Qing stuttered. Yang Su's heart skipped a beat, and his breathing quickened. If Lu Yiping's mandate was also a peak rank 13 Chaos mandate, then wouldn't this master and servant have 2 peak rank 13 Chaos mandates? The news that Lu Yiping had destroyed the Jadewater Palace and the Dragonhorned Golden Bull's 6 Chaos Wills quickly spread. The Overgod Sea was naturally shaken. After Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao destroyed the Jadewater Palace, they didn't destroy the palace itself. Instead, they expanded and strengthened the Jadewater Palace's grand formation. At the same time, they set up a myriad things divine gathering formation to gather primordial spiritual energy. Afterward, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao stayed in the Jadewater Palace and had Song Song, Tian Shou, Chang Liang, and the rest moved their caves to the Jadewater Island for them to cultivate. The Jadewater Island was undoubtedly many times better than the Spirit Turtle Island. Nightfall. In the dead of night, Lu Yiping stood in the air above the Jadewater Palace, gazing at the night sky. The night sky was deep and twinkling with stars. The sea around Blue Water Island was illuminated by the starlight, tranquil and dreamy. From Zhao Tao's memory fragments, Lu Yiping learned that the person who connected the Jadewater Palace and the Yinyang Bora race was a person called Tian Hong. Tian Hong was a sovereign of fire, wind, and water. However, Zhao Tao was not very clear about Tian Hong's identity. Every time Tian Hong came to see him, his entire body was enveloped in demonic light, and his appearance could not be seen clearly. Zhao Tao only knew that Tianhong came from the Fan Yu continent. The Brahma Moon continent was vast and boundless. The main god ocean was equivalent to hundreds of Blood Devil continents, but the Brahma Moon continent was many times bigger than the main god ocean. The headquarters of the Thousand Souls Divine sect was located in the Brahma Moon continent. The Brahma Moon continent was huge. Finding a person was like finding a needle in a haystack. Therefore, Lu Yiping decided to stay on Jadewater Island and wait for Tianhong. Tianhong would come to the Jadewater Palace every few days. In the following days, Lu Yiping spent almost every day in the Jadewater Palace comprehending the Jade Disc of Fortune and cultivating the immortal sky wood art and longevity art. While Lu Yiping was comprehending the Jade Disc of Fortune, experts from all over the main god ocean came to visit. They just wanted to get to know Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. Lu Yiping did not meet the experts who came to visit. He only let Song Song deal with them. On this day, Lu Yiping came to the Jadewater Palace's treasury. Zhao Tao had obtained the lightning mirror umbrella from a lightning sea 1,000,000 years ago. At the time, Zhao Tao had also obtained a piece of lightning jade. Zhao Tao could not find anything from it, so he had kept it in the Jadewater Palace's treasury. The lightning mirror umbrella was a divine artifact of the ancient heavenly court. Therefore, that piece of lightning jade might have recorded some information about the ancient heavenly court. The Jadewater Palace was one of the three major forces in the Southern Sea. Naturally, its treasury was rich. However, Lu Yiping did not care about the treasures, chaos spirit stones, and other materials in the treasury. He walked straight to the piece of lightning jade. The lightning jade was several zhang tall and several meters wide. Its surface was smooth, and there were no runes on it. However, there were traces of lightning chi inside the jade. It was as if there was a world of lightning inside the jade. Lu Yiping looked at the lightning jade in front of him. He activated his eye of lightning punishment and directly penetrated the restrictions on the surface of the lightning jade. He arrived at the world of lightning inside the jade. The world of lightning inside the jade was huge. Lightning flashed everywhere, and Huang Xiaolong could not see the end of it. Lu Yiping's eye of lightning punishment pierced through the layers of lightning and reached the deepest part of the world of lightning. Lightning dragons swam in the deepest part of the world of lightning. These lightning dragons were formed from various kinds of lightning runes. After Lu Yiping's deduction, these lightning dragons combined and arranged themselves, forming a series of lightning runes. Half an hour later, Lu Yiping retrieved the eye of lightning punishment. 7 Treasures Island. Lu Yiping read aloud. The lightning runes recorded on this piece of lightning jade were left behind by the strongest leader of the ancient heavenly court's lightning division. However, there were 2 pieces of lightning jade, and this was only one of them. In the past, this piece of lightning jade was found by Zhao Tao in a certain lightning sea on the 7 Treasures Island. Lu Yiping speculated that there should be another piece of lightning jade on the 7 Treasures Island. The lightning jade mentioned Jian Shu and the Buzhou mountain. Therefore, Lu Yiping wanted to make a trip to the 7 Treasures Island. Lu Yiping refined the lightning jade and stored it in the universe cauldron. The next day, he left the Jadewater Palace with Taurus Longjiao. The 7 Treasures Island was the number 1 island in the main Spirit Sea. On the 7 Treasures Island was the number 1 force in the main Spirit Sea, the 7 Treasures Divine sect. By the time Lu Yiping and Zhao Tao arrived at the 7 Treasures Island, it was already late at night. Although it was late at night, the 7 Treasures Island was still bustling with activity. People came and went, carriages shuttled through, and flying ships came and went. The Lightning Sea was the inner sea of the 7 Treasures Island, located to the south of the island. As they approached the Lightning Sea, the number of people they encountered gradually decreased. Lightning storms frequently occurred in the Lightning Sea, and the lightning beasts in the Lightning Sea multiplied. Therefore, very few experts entered the Lightning Sea. However, they would occasionally run into some over-god experts who went there to train. I heard that several hundred disciples of the Seven Treasures Divine sect died. The Seven Treasures Divine sect has been searching for the culprit, but the culprit escaped into the lightning sea. What? There was such a thing. Who is the culprit? The culprit is wearing a black robe and a ghost mask. He's about 180 centimeters tall. It's very likely that he's an expert from the Purple Extreme Demon tribe. However, the Seven Treasures Divine sect can't be 100% sure. In the distance, several experts who came out of the lightning sea discussed. Purple Extreme Demon tribe. Hearing this, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao approached the experts in front of them and asked them about the culprit. After asking around, Lu Yiping and Zhao Tao entered the lightning sea. Although they couldn't confirm that the culprit was an expert from the Purple Extreme Demon tribe, Lu Yiping still used the Eye of Lightning punishment and spiritual force to search for the culprit. If this person was really an expert from the Purple Extreme Demon tribe, then it was extremely important to him. In the lower realm, the Purple Extreme Demon tribe searched for building tree blocks for the Inyang Borer race. In the upper realm, the Purple Extreme Demon tribe would probably also search for building tree blocks for the Inyang Borer race. Perhaps, the Purple Extreme Demon tribe's nest also had a large number of building tree blocks. Chapter 363. However, to Lu Yiping's disappointment, they failed to find the Purple Extreme Demon clan's culprit after a day had passed. In the end, Lu Yiping arrived at the place where Zhao Tao had found the lightning jades. In front of them was a tall mountain peak. The entire mountain peak was filled with surging lightning. Lu Yiping and Zhao Tao discovered that the entire mountain peak was made of lightning crystal iron ore. Lightning crystal iron ore was a type of lightning attribute ore that was extremely hard and heavy. This lightning crystal iron mountain peak seemed to have fallen from the sky and pierced deep into the lightning sea. Moreover, there were shocking restrictions on its surface. Lightning firmament formation. Taurus Longjiao said as he looked at the flickering lightning on the mountain peak. The lightning firmament formation could devour the world's lightning chi and was passed down from ancient times. As Lu Yiping had already refined the first thunder jade, he quickly sensed the location of the other thunder jade when he arrived near the mountain peak. The first lightning jade was found by Zhao Tao at the outermost area at the foot of the mountain peak, but through his senses, he found that the other lightning jade was halfway up the mountain, at the core of the lightning firmament formation. Just as Lu Yiping and Zhao Tao were about to reach the middle of the mountain peak, sounds of whistling wind could be heard in the distance as a large group of experts flew in their direction. There were both men and women in this large group of experts, all of them were from the Seven Treasures Divine sect. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao ignored them and headed straight for the middle of the mountain peak. One of the Seven Treasures Divine sect's experts shouted, "Hey, did you see a 180-meter-tall young man wearing a black robe running over here?" Clearly, this group of Seven Treasures Divine sect's experts had chased the culprit all the way here. However, this Seven Treasures Divine sect's expert spoke with a condescending tone that made others feel extremely uncomfortable. Taurus Longjiao turned around and chuckled, "I didn't see a young man wearing a black robe, but I did see 70 little bastards wearing green robes." The Seven Treasures Divine sect's experts all wore green robes. The Seven Treasures Divine sect's experts could tell that Taurus Longjiao was mocking them, calling them little bastards. Reckless fool. The Seven Treasures Divine sect expert was stunned for a moment before becoming furious. A large halberd appeared in his hand as he suddenly stabbed towards Taurus Longjiao. The power of wind roared. This person was a sovereign of wind, and he had unleashed all 32 types of wind-type energy right off the bat. The halberd emitted a cold light that resembled starlight. Taurus Longjiao didn't even look at the incoming halberd and directly slapped out. The Seven Treasures Divine sect expert was slapped to the point where he was spinning like a top. He actually kept spinning non-stop, creating terrifying wind blades. As for the halberd, it shot backward and entered a mountain, causing it to collapse. Lord Chen Kai. The experts of the Seven Treasures Divine sect were shocked. An expert from the Seven Jewels Divine Sect wanted to save this expert. However, before he could get close, he was blown away by the spinning wind blades. His divine armor was cut open, leaving scars all over his body. Zhongzhong of the Seven Treasures Divine Sect was even more shocked. The second expert from the Seven Treasures Divine Sect was one of the ancestors of the Seven Treasures Divine Sect. He possessed 56 types of metal-type energy, but he couldn't even get close before being blown away by the wind blades. From this, one could see how powerful the wind blades were. "Who are you?" A Seven Treasures Divine Sect expert looked at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao in bewilderment, saying, "We are from the Seven Treasures Divine Sect. Junior brother Qin Kai acted rashly and I apologize to you on his behalf. I hope that you won't hold a grudge against this lowly person and let him go." Taurus Longjiao sneered, "Let him go." His halberd attack just now contained 32 types of wind-type energy. If I were an ordinary sovereign of Heaven's mandate, I would have been killed by him long ago. Another expert from the Seven Treasures Divine Sect couldn't help but ask, "What do you mean?" Taurus Longjiao looked at the Seven Treasures Divine Sect expert who was still spinning and sneered, "He will stop in a month's time." With that, he and Lu Yiping continued flying towards the mountainside. Of course, in a month's time, his divine veins, totems, and Heaven's mandate will all be shattered. In the end, even his divine soul will be shattered. Zhongzhong of the Seven Treasures Divine Sect was shocked and furious. If his divine veins, totems, and Heaven's mandate were all shattered, he would become a cripple. If his divine soul was shattered, he would die without a doubt. Not only did this golden retriever want to kill their Seven Treasures Divine Sect's ancestor, Qin Kai, he also wanted to cripple him before he died. However, looking at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao leaving, the Seven Treasures Divine Sect experts didn't dare to stop them. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao passed through the thunder firmament array and entered the mountain. Their figures disappeared into the lightning on the mountain. "Quick, report to Lord Xingqing." Xingqing was the strongest expert from the Seven Treasures Divine Sect who came to the Violent Sea. He was a dual-element overgod of water and fire. He had comprehended 61 types of water element energy and 73 types of fire element energy. Somewhere in the Violent Sea, Xingqing was leading another group of Seven Treasures Divine Sect experts to search for the culprit. While they were searching with their divine souls, they received a distress signal from Qin Kai's group. When Xingqing saw the distress signal, he couldn't help but be surprised. "The Golden Retriever's muscular man? What's wrong?" Zhang Yun, who was standing beside Xingqing, asked. Xingqing handed the signal to Zhang Yun. Zhang Yun's face sank when he saw it. 1 month later, he shattered junior brother Qin Kai's divine veins, totems, and Heaven's mandate. Finally, he shattered his divine soul. His eyes were filled with killing intent. "This person is courting death." Xingqing said, "Even junior brother Lu, who has 56 types of metal element energy, couldn't break that wind blade. This person's strength is definitely not simple. I'm afraid he's even stronger than the culprit. We can't be careless." Zhang Yun frowned. "Then what do we do now? Go save Qin Kai first. Stop searching for the culprit. Let the other teams continue searching for the culprit." Xingqing pondered for a moment, then added, "We'll go take a look at Qin Kai." Thus, Xingqing and Zhang Yun led the Seven Treasures Divine Sect's disciples in the direction of Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. An hour later, Xingqing, Zhang Yun, and the others arrived and saw Qin Kai still spinning on the spot. Xingqing and Zhang Yun exchanged a glance as they watched Qin Kai's spinning body surrounded by wind blades. Both of them saw the shock in each other's eyes. Xingqing and Zhang Yun stepped forward, stopping in front of Qin Kai. Zhang Yun's energy surged as the power of Earth Law gathered around his body, forming waves of earth. Then, he walked towards Qin Kai. However, the moment he got close to the wind blades, the waves of earth around him were sliced apart, and the terrifying wind blades rushed towards him. Zhang Yun dodged in a panic, retreating again and again. By the time he had retreated to a safe distance and barely dodged the wind blades, he felt a chill on the top of his head. Strands of hair fell to the ground as a large chunk of his head was sliced off. Xing Qing's face turned solemn. Although Zhang Yun was only an earth element over God, he had comprehended 87 types of earth element energy. Yet, even Zhang Yun couldn't break through the wind blades. The power of the wind blades exceeded Xing Qing's expectations. Chapter 364. This wind blade contains 90 types of wind element force. One of the 7 treasures divine sex experts guessed. Xing Qing shook his head. I'm afraid it's more than that. More than that. Everyone was bewildered hearing this. Although the 7 treasures divine sect was the #1 sect in the main spirit sea realm, there weren't many ancestors who possessed more than 90 types of wind element force. Which direction did they go? Xing Qing asked, pointing at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. Lord Xing Qing, they entered that mountain peak. One of the 7 treasures divine sex experts quickly reported. Xing Qing and Zhang Yun looked at the thunder crystal iron mountain in front of them. This mountain peak is made of purple water lightning iron? Zhang Yun asked doubtfully. Xing Qing also looked at the mountain peak in front of him with doubt. This mountain peak seemed to be made of purple water lightning iron, but it also didn't seem to be. He flew towards the mountain peak, trying to get close to it. Suddenly, the lightning energy on the mountain peak turned violent, turning into a sea of lightning, striking at him. Xing Qing was startled, the long sword in his hand slashed out. Lightning flashed. Xing Qing staggered back from the impact. His palm hurt, and the long sword in his hand almost flew out. Xing Qing only managed to stop after retreating several hundred meters. The 7 treasures divine sex experts were shocked. This is the firmament lightning formation. Zhang Yun's face tightened. Firmament lightning formation? Could it be the firmament lightning formation from the primordial era? Another ancestor exclaimed. But we clearly saw that when those 2 people entered the mountain peak, they were not attacked by the firmament lightning formation. One of the 7 treasures divine sex experts said. What did you say? When they entered the mountain peak, the firmament lightning formation did not attack them? Xing Qing was stunned. Yes. The 7 treasures divine sex expert nodded, then recounted the scene of Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao entering the mountain peak. Xing Qing, Zhang Yun, and the rest were baffled. They could see that the firmament lightning formation was one with the mountain peak. As long as they approached the mountain peak, they would be attacked by the formation. But why didn't it attack Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao? Lord Xing Qing, what do we do now? Zhang Yun asked Xing Qing. A 7 treasures divine sect expert suddenly said, the blue-robed young man, he can't be Lu Yiping, right? Everyone's expression changed. Including Xing Qing. Lu Yiping. Xing Qing stuttered. Ever since Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao had destroyed the Jade Water Palace, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao had basically become a taboo for the various major powers in the Over-God Sea. Even a sect as strong as the 7 treasures divine sect did not dare to disregard Lu Yiping and Lu Xian. At this moment, a light flashed on the mountain peak, and 2 figures, one blue and one gold, walked out. Upon seeing Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao, Xing Qing, Zhang Yun, and the others instinctively retreated. Xing Qing suppressed the shock in his heart and stepped forward with cupped fists. He respectfully asked Lu Yiping, may I ask if you are Lord Lu? Taurus Longjiao looked at the restless Xing Qing and the others and said, what? Do you want revenge? Cold sweat broke out on Xing Qing's forehead as he waved his hand repeatedly, Lord misunderstands. Chen Kai and the others didn't know Lord's identity and offended Lord. They deserved to die, we had no intention of offending Lord. Lu Yiping suddenly asked, have you caught the murderer? Xing Qing was stunned, he did not expect Lu Yiping to suddenly ask about the murderer. Not yet. Xing Qing answered cautiously, guessing Lu Yiping's intention for asking about the murderer. I heard that the murderer might be an expert from the purple extreme devil race. Lu Yiping asked. Purple extreme devil race? Seng Qing finally understood that Lu Yiping wanted to know more about the purple extreme devil race. It should be the purple extreme devil race, but we can't be sure. Seng Qing answered respectfully. Are you familiar with the purple extreme devil race? Lu Yiping asked about the purple extreme devil race. Seng Qing shook his head. A million years ago, the purple extreme devil race suddenly went into hiding, leaving no traces behind. Suddenly, he added, maybe, Old Monster Black Wind knows something about the purple extreme devil race. Old Monster Black Wind? Lu Yiping was confused. Yes. Seng Qing quickly explained, I heard that Old Monster Black Wind's master is one of the purple extreme devil race's ancestors. Seng Qing then told Lu Yiping about Old Monster Black Wind, telling Lu Yiping everything he knew in detail. A short while later, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao stepped into the air and left. Before leaving, Lu Yiping uprooted the entire lightning crystal mountain and put it away. Seng Qing, Zhang Yun, and the rest watched as Lu Yiping and Old Monster Black Wind left. Seng Qing looked at Chen Kai who was still spinning. He hesitated for a moment, then took out his communication talisman and reported to the Seven Treasures Divine Sect Chief. After Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao left, they did not leave the Lightning Sea. Instead, they continued to search for the Seven Treasures Divine Sect's murderer. The next day, in a lightning valley, Lu Yiping finally found the culprit. However, to Lu Yiping's disappointment, the culprit only cultivated a devil race cultivation method similar to the purple extreme devil races, but not the purple extreme devil races. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao then returned to the Jade Water Palace. On the way, Lu Yiping refined the second lightning jade he found, and the lightning rune was finally complete. In this complete lightning rune, other than the records related to Jian Shu and Mount Buzhou, it also recorded the purple firmament lightning grand extinguishing formation and many lightning element formations from the primordial era. There were also the cultivation experiences of the primordial heavenly court's thunder division's strongest leader. These cultivation experiences were not bad, but they were of no use to Lu Yiping. However, although there were records related to Jian Shu and Mount Buzhou in the lightning rune, they were only fragmentary words. Therefore, Lu Yiping could not deduce the exact location of Jian Shu and Mount Buzhou's main body. Even so, Lu Yiping learned from this lightning rune that the primordial heavenly court's destruction was related to the Yin Bora race. However, other than the Yin Bora race, there was also the primordial Tongbi divine ape race. The Tongbi divine ape race. Lu Yiping muttered. The Tongbi divine ape race was the strongest demonic beast race in the primordial era. They possessed boundless strength and astonishing defense. Subsequently, Lu Yiping contacted the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's Battle Tower Branch's president Long Qianxi, asking him to inquire about Old Monster Black Wind's whereabouts. A month later, Long Qianxi replied to Lu Yiping that he had found Old Monster Black Wind's whereabouts. Fanhua Continent, Rong Family. The True Dragon Chamber of Commerce had found out that Old Monster Black Wind was currently hiding in the Rong family. The Rong family, like the Sui family, was one of the few super families in the Fanhua Continent. Since they knew that Old Monster Black Wind was hiding in the Rong family, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao left the Jade Water Palace and headed to the Fanhua Continent. The two traveled without stopping. After crossing the Master God Sea and dozens of continents, they finally arrived at the Fanhua Continent's Rongzhou City. Rongzhou City, the Rong family's main residence. It was already noon when Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao arrived. When Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao explained their purpose of visit to the Rong family's guards, the guards looked at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao in confusion. You're looking for Captain Bai. Old Monster Black Wind was hiding in the Rong family. His alias was Bai Fei, and he was now a captain of the Rong family's guards. Chapter 365. Lu Yiping didn't bother to ask anymore. His eyes flashed as he controlled the guard's mind. Soon, he found out where Black Wind Old Monster by Fei was. Red Moon Forest. From the guard, he learned that Black Wind Old Monster by Fei had gone to Red Moon Forest with Rong Ping yesterday to hunt beasts. Immediately, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao went to Red Moon Forest. Red Moon Forest was the largest forest in the Fanhua continent. Demonic beasts thrived there, and it was a good place for many disciples to hunt beasts. Rong Ping often went there to hunt beasts. Occasionally, she would invite some friends to hunt beasts together. This time, she invited Sui Zihan from the Sui family. Sui Zihan had a high status in the Sui family. He was Sui Tai's nephew and also one of the most talented disciples in the Sui family. Somewhere in the Red Moon Forest, Sui Zihan suddenly struck out with his palm and sent a tiger-shaped beast flying. When the tiger-shaped beast landed on the ground, it was already a charred corpse. Rong Ping clapped and smiled, "Brother Zihan, you must have cultivated your fire element to perfection, right?" No matter which element, comprehending 99 types of power was considered perfection. Sui Zihan smiled, "A few years ago, I was lucky enough to be taught by Uncle Tai and cultivated my fire element to perfection." When Rong Ping heard Sui Tai, her face was full of admiration. "Lord Tai must have cultivated 10 elements to perfection, right?" Sui Zihan smiled, "I'm not sure. Uncle Tai hasn't fought in a long time. However, my father said that Uncle Tai should have cultivated water, wood, wind, fire, earth, metal, lightning, poison, darkness, and light to perfection. Now, he has comprehended the time element." Rong Ping said, "In the current God realm, in terms of talent, I'm afraid only Wen Yufeng can be compared to Lord Tai. With Lord Tai's talent, he can probably cultivate all 13 laws to perfection and enter the realm of perfection. If one cultivated all 13 elements to 99 types of power, they would be called perfection. However, from the immemorial era until now, there were less than 10 over-gods who could cultivate to perfection in 100 million years. How many geniuses were born in a continent in 100 million years? How many monstrous geniuses were born in the God realm? However, there were no more than 10 people who had managed to cultivate all 13 laws to 99 powers. This showed just how difficult it was to cultivate all 10 laws to 99 powers. Not to mention the fact that all 13 elements had been cultivated to the 99th level. Even those who had cultivated the first 10 elements to the 99th level could be counted on one's fingers. Sui Zihan smiled and said, "Uncle will definitely be able to cultivate 13 elements to perfection." When one was at the Master God realm, the higher one's cultivation of the laws, the more one would have. The moment one stepped into the God Emperor realm, the number of avatars one could condense would increase, and each avatar would be stronger. Rong Ping and Sui Zihan hunted a few more demonic beasts before they stopped and rested on the flat ground at the foot of the mountain. While the two of them were resting, they suddenly saw 2 figures, one blue and one gold, walking over from the ground in the distance. The two of them didn't walk quickly, but in the blink of an eye, they arrived in front of Rong Ping, Sui Zihan, and the others. Rong Ping and Sui Zihan were stunned. Although they didn't know why these two people were looking for them, they could tell that they were here for them. The Rong family and Sui family's guards immediately stepped forward, blocking Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao's path. "Who are you? What business do you have with us?" Sui Zihan stood up, staring fixedly at Lu Yiping and Sui Zihan. Lu Yiping didn't answer. His gaze fell on one of the guards beside Rong Ping, asking, "You're Bai Fei?" No one expected Lu Yiping to be looking for the captain of Rong Ping's guards. Bai Fei looked at Lu Yiping in confusion. "I am Bai Fei, who are you? What business do you have with me?" "You're old monster Black Wind, right?" Taurus Longjiao grinned, alias Bai Fei, hiding in the Rong family as the captain of the guards. "You've concealed yourself well, at least the Rong family didn't discover your identity." Bai Fei's face sank. "You're mistaken, I'm not the old monster Black Wind you're talking about. I'm just someone the Rong family rescued from the roadside to repay their kindness. Rong Ping looked at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao, barking, I don't care who you are, or what grudges you have with Bai Fei in the past, Bai Fei is now my Rong family's captain of guards. You can leave now. If you don't blame us for being rude. However, just as her words fell, Taurus Longjiao reached out his hand, grabbing Bai Fei. Rong Ping's face sank at this. Seeing Taurus Longjiao make a move, the Rong family's guards also made a move. These guards weren't weak. Although they were all over gods of one law, they had comprehended more than 70 kinds of laws. Their strength wasn't below dragon pagodas. 30 people made a move at the same time, their power of laws surging. Taurus Longjiao ignored these Rong family guards and continued to grab Bai Fei. Bai Fei's face turned cold as he slashed out with the saber in his hand. The power of wind whistled, and within the power of wind, the power of darkness surged. This Bai Fei was a wind over god and a darkness over god. This was where the name Old Monster Black Wind came from. Moreover, he had cultivated to 90 kinds of laws in both laws. He was close to perfection in both laws. Taurus Longjiao looked at Bai Fei's incoming saber and casually flicked it. The power of wind and darkness in the saber exploded, and the saber shattered into countless pieces. Bai Fei was caught by Taurus Longjiao. The attacks of the 30 over-god guards landed on Taurus Longjiao at the same time. A loud boom rang out. Taurus Longjiao's body was covered in lightning, but he didn't move an inch. The 30 over-god guards were sent flying by a powerful force, smashing into the mountain behind. What? Rong Yiping, Sui Zihan, and the Sui family guards were shocked and they saw the group of Rong family guards being sent flying. Taurus Longjiao grabbed Bai Fei and brought him in front of him. Bai Fei looked at Taurus Longjiao with fear in his eyes. Let's go. Lu Yiping said and was about to leave with Taurus Longjiao. However, just as Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were about to leave, a figure flashed and blocked their path. It was Sui Zihan of the Sui family. Sui Zihan looked at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao, it's not appropriate for the two of you to take him away like this. I am Sui Zihan of the Sui family, and Sui Tai is my uncle. However, before he could finish, Lu Yiping flicked his finger and sent him flying. Looking at Sui Zihan, who had fallen to the end of the flat ground, Rong Ping and the Sui family's experts were stunned. When they came back to their senses, the Sui family's guards were enraged. They rushed up and attacked Lu Yiping. Taurus Longjiao saw this and casually punched out. All of a sudden, the Sui family's guards suffered a heavy blow, and all of them were sent flying like broken leaves, vomiting blood. Chapter 366. Taurus Longjiao looked at Rong Ping. Rong Ping stood there alone, her face pale. However, Lu Yiping and Bai Fei did not attack again. They left with Black Wind and Bai Fei. Long after Lu Yiping and Bai Fei left, Sui Zihan crawled up from the ground. He wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, shocked, angry, and furious. Courting death. These two pieces of trash are courting death. He hissed. His voice was low, and his eyes were filled with murderous intent. As Sui Tai's nephew and one of the most talented disciples of the Sui family, he was highly valued by the ancestors of the Sui family. With the Sui family's status in the Brahma Moon continent, he had never suffered such humiliation. Young Lord Zihan, are you all right? A group of Sui family guards came from afar. They came to Sui Zihan and asked in a trembling voice. Rong Ping also came over and asked about Sui Zihan's injuries. Sui Zihan said to Rong Ping, don't worry, little sister Ping. These two won't be able to escape. I will report this to my father and have the Sui family seal off the Red Moon Forest and the surrounding mountains. He took out a communication talisman and crushed it to report to his father. After Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao left with Bai Fei, they asked Bai Fei about the purple extreme demon race. However, Bai Fei was not a direct disciple of the purple extreme demon race, so he did not know much about them. Zi Mingji. Lu Yiping muttered. He learned from Bai Fei that his master was called Zi Mingji. However, he was not an ancestor of the purple extreme demon race. He was just one of the people in charge of the purple extreme demon race in the Brahma Moon continent. He was an over-god who comprehended the 5 laws of darkness, lightning, wind, water, and earth. However, Bai Fei did not know where Zi Mingji was hiding. Usually, Zi Mingji would take the initiative to contact him. He was hiding in the Rong family under Zi Mingji's orders. Night fell. Red Moon Forest. A red moon hung in the deep night sky above the forest. This red moon was strange, mysterious, and eerie. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao sat around the bonfire, drinking myriad worlds wine. Since Zi Mingji had taken the initiative to contact Bai Fei, Lu Yiping did not kill him. Instead, he let him go and only left a mark on his soul. As long as Zi Mingji contacted Bai Fei, Lu Longjiao, he would know about it. Lu Yiping took out Mount Buzhou and saw the 7-colored spirit qi rolling around the 7-colored gourd. Had's gourd, S red gourd was, SSS had longs, red gourd was scored, was SS without the spring of life. The rainbow gourd's roots grew slowly over the past few thousand years. The fountain of life. Lu Yiping frowned. Divines gods. The God, if, the of the God, ofs of life of God. Unfortunately, Longjiao's spring of lives was too rare. Even the Thousand Souls Divine Sect and Heaven Maze Divine Sect only had a few drops. A few drops of Longjiao's spring of lives was of no use. From the 2 lightning jades lightning runes, Huang Xiaolong knew that the Heavenly Court's Heavenly Emperor had Longjiao's spring of life. The Heavenly Emperor's spring of life was stored in one of his chaos spiritual treasures, the world-cleansing bottles. As long as he could find the world-cleansing bottles, he would be able to find the Heavenly Emperor's spring of life. However, the world-cleansing bottles had disappeared along with the Heavenly Court's destruction. Where could he find them? Retrieving Buzhou Mountain, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao sat cross-legged under the Tree of Creation and started cultivating. The Tree of Creation's profound yellow qi roiled like the sea, pouring into Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao's bodies. However, the Tree of Creation's chaos qi had yet to be converted into profound yellow qi. These chaos qi and profound yellow qi were mixed together. Therefore, when Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao absorbed the profound yellow qi, it was unavoidable. The night passed. Lu Yiping stopped cultivating. Lu Yiping looked at the primal chaos qi within the Xianhuang qi. This primal chaos qi wasn't of much use to him, but devouring it would affect his cultivation of the longevity art and immortal sky-wood art. Therefore, he had to find more pieces of the builder tree as soon as possible so that the builder tree could grow to 300,000 meters. At that time, the remaining chaotic qi would all be converted into Xianhuang qi. That way, he would not have to worry about devouring the chaotic qi. I wonder how far the tree will grow before it bears fruit. Taurus Longjiao sighed as he looked at the towering tree in front of him. The Jianshu had now grown to 210,000 meters, but there was still no sign of it bearing fruit. Lu Yiping was one with Jianshu, so he knew about Jianshu's growth. He said, about 400,000 meters. What? It has to grow to 400,000 meters to bear fruit? The dragon horn golden bull was shocked. Lu Yiping nodded. The builder tree was the #1 divine tree in the myriad worlds. Once it bore fruit, its fruit would be earth-shattering. Lu Yiping was also looking forward to the day when the builder tree bore fruit. After putting away the builder tree, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao stood up and planned to head to the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's Burning Moon Continent branch. Although he had already asked Long Tianci to help him find the builder tree and Buzhou Mountain Stone, Long Tianci was only the president of a small fighting K-City branch. He didn't have enough power and status. Therefore, He planned to go to the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's Burning Moon Continent branch. The Burning Moon Continent was the main continent of the God World's upper world. It was the most important continent among the tens of thousands of continents and countless seas. The president of the Burning Moon Continent branch led all of Long Tianxi's branches. If he went to the Burning Moon Continent branch, the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce would place more importance on his request. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao left the Red Moon Forest and headed toward Red Moon City. The True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's Burning Moon Continent branch was in Red Moon City. Red Moon City was very big and prosperous. Not only did the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's Burning Moon Continent branch in Red Moon City, but many other chambers of commerce's branches in the Burning Moon Continent were also in Red Moon City. When Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao appeared in Red Moon City, Sui Zihan received a report. Red Moon City. Sui Zihan smiled indifferent, then led a group of experts from the Sui family to Red Moon City. After he told his father about the Red Moon Forest yesterday, his father Sui Juanru had sent a large group of Yi family experts over. Among these experts, the weakest was a 3-element over god. There were even 4-element over gods and 5-element over gods. After Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao entered the city, they went straight to the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce. When they arrived, they didn't waste any time and went to the front desk to state their purpose. After Lu Yiping displayed his shocking wealth, the person in charge immediately reported it to their president. Soon, the president of the Burning Moon Continent, Xia Yun, came out and invited Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao into the inner hall. Not long after Xia Yun invited Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao into the inner hall, Sui Zihan led several hundred experts from the Sui family into the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce. Chapter 367. When the disciples in the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's main hall saw Sui Zihan leading 400 to 500 Sui family's experts in an aggressive manner, their faces tightened. The other families and sects disciples in the main hall quickly moved away when they saw the Sui family's experts swarming in. It's Sui Zihan. He brought so many master gods here, what's going on? Some of the experts were trying to guess Sui Zihan's intentions. Young Master Zihan. A True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's steward hurried over, cupping his fists at Sui Zihan. May I know what business young Master Zihan has with the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce? What do you want to buy? Although the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce was a powerful dragon, they were still wary of the Sui family, the local tyrant of the Brahma Moon Continent. Therefore, they were extremely polite to Sui Zihan. Sui Zihan glanced at the steward and asked coldly, "Where is the blue-robed young man and the golden retriever man who came in just now?" The blue-robed young man and the golden retriever man? The steward was stunned, then he thought of Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao who were invited into the inner hall by their president. May I know why young Master Zihan is looking for them? The steward asked with a smile. Sui Zihan's face sank. So, you know where they are now. Tell them to come out. If I don't see them in 5 minutes, I'll smash your True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's main hall. The steward was stunned, but he could tell that Sui Zihan wasn't joking. If he said he would smash their main hall, he would really do it. If it were an ordinary Sui family's disciple, he would have already ordered them to leave, but Sui Zihan wasn't an ordinary Sui family's disciple, he was the Sui family's core disciple and Sui Tai's nephew. The steward told Sui Zihan to wait for a while, then turned around and entered the inner hall. He couldn't make the decision on this matter, so he could only report it to their president. In the inner hall, Xia Yun, Lu Yiping, and Taurus Longjiao were chatting happily when the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's steward came in, reporting that Sui Zihan had led a large group of Sui family's experts to meet Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. He said that if he didn't see them in 5 minutes, he would smash the Chamber of Commerce's main hall. Sui Zihan. Xia Yun frowned and looked at Lu Yiping and the Dragon Horn Golden Bull. Lu Yiping said to the Dragon Horn Golden Bull, "Let's go out and take a look." Then he and the Dragon Horn Golden Bull walked towards the hall. Xia Yun's experts of Dragon Hall were. Of Sui, Suizes of Sui families of 100 Sui families experts Sui of 1,000 families as family, SSS. Had Zihan of 9 experts behind Sui. Seeing Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao come out, Sui Zihan's face was filled with anger. You're finally out. Taurus Longjiao looked at Sui Zihan's angry face and said, in the Red Moon Forest, my master didn't kill you, you brat, you should be glad. You actually wanted to find people to seek revenge. He then looked at the Sui family's experts behind Sui Zihan, but, you only brought these ugly melons and dates. Ugly melons and dates. Sui Zihan and the Sui family's experts were enraged. One of the Sui family's experts couldn't help but step forward, sending a punch at Taurus Longjiao. Blue waves surged to the sky, a sea of flames surged, and a storm swept out. Layers of lightning turned into lightning snakes, and giant green vines coiled around them. This Sui family's expert was a water, fire, wind, lightning, and wood over god. Water, fire, wind, lightning, and wood elemental energy had reached 70 different types. Lightning elemental energy had reached 90 different types. The main hall shook. Even with the true Dragon Chamber of Commerce's defensive formation, it still felt like it was about to collapse. Facing the Sui family's 5 elemental over-gods attack, Taurus Longjiao didn't even look at it. He directly sent out a palm, and the Sui family's water, fire, wind, lightning, and wood elemental attack collapsed. The Sui family's expert only felt a terrifying force coming at him. His eyes widened in shock, and he wanted to retreat, but he was too slow. He was instantly struck by Taurus Longjiao's palm, and he exploded on the spot. A 5 elemental over-god, dead. Everyone was stunned. Although this Sui family's 5 elemental over-god hadn't cultivated all of his elemental energy to perfection, he had cultivated over 70 different types of energy in each elemental energy, and had even cultivated 90 different types of lightning elemental energy. His strength was absolutely shocking, comparable to an ordinary 6 elemental over-god. However, he had exploded with a single palm. True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's president Xia Yun's eyes narrowed. Taurus Longjiao hadn't used any Heaven's Mandate energy, nor did he use any Origin Law energy. That palm strike just now seemed to be the strength of Taurus Longjiao's physical body. Just the strength of his physical body was enough to kill a 5 elemental over-god. Sui Zihan and the Sui family's experts were stunned for a moment before they reacted. Uncle Tating. Sui Zihan cried out in grief as he looked at the Sui family's expert who had exploded. The one who had just been killed by Taurus Longjiao was a Sui family's grand over-god, one of Sui Zihan's uncles, and also Sui Tai's younger brother. Kill them for me. Sui Zihan roared with bloodshot eyes. The Sui family's experts were enraged, and they all rushed forward to attack Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. Taurus Longjiao snorted coldly as he looked at the 400 Sui family's over-gods charging at him. The Sui family's experts felt their hearts tremble, and in the next moment, heaven and earth shook violently as one giant chaos fate after another flew out. Each chaos fate was 139,999 li long. There were 13 in total. Peak level 13 chaos fate. And there were 13 of them. Everyone exclaimed when they saw the 13 peak level 13 chaos fate in the sky. Whether it was Sui Zihan, Xia Yun, or the other experts, they were all shocked. The 13 chaos fate shone brightly, and layers of chaos chi turned into thousands of chaos lightning dragons that charged at the Sui family's over-gods. The chaos chi formed by the 13 chaos fate was far stronger than the Sui family's experts had imagined. Wherever the chaos lightning dragons passed, the Sui family's over-gods were all blasted away, and they were all blasted into smithereens. Explosions rang out in the main hall as the Sui family's over-gods were blasted apart. When the Chaos Lightning Dragons finally stopped, none of the Sui family's 400 over-gods were left standing. To be more precise, none of them were alive. The ground was covered in blood. The surrounding space was filled with the power of totems, chaos, fate, and laws. Of the Sui family's experts, only Sui Zihan was left. Taurus Longjiao looked at Sui Zihan. Sui Zihan's expression changed drastically, and fear filled his eyes. Taurus Longjiao struck out with his palm, and the ground shook violently. Sui Zihan was pressed into the ground by Taurus Longjiao's palm, and he was blasted apart just like the Sui family's experts. The experts in the surroundings shuddered when they saw Sui Zihan's corpse. Lu Yiping turned to Xia Yun and said, "Since it's all cleaned up, President Xia, let's continue our discussion in the inner hall." Seeing Sui Zihan and the Sui family's over-gods being slapped to death, Xia Yun came back to his senses and said with difficulty, "All right, Master Lu, please." Chapter 368. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were invited back into the inner hall by Xia Yun. When Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and Xia Yun disappeared, the hall was in an uproar. The Sui family was the undisputed #1 family in the Brahma Moon continent. Not to mention several hundred over-gods, even the death of several hundred heavens-will god kings would shock the Brahma Moon continent, not to mention that Sui Zihan was also killed. However, what shocked them even more was the 13 peak level 13 chaos wills. Everyone's mind was filled with the scene of 13 peak level 13 chaos wills in the sky. Sui Tai loved his nephew, Sui Zihan, and often went back to the Sui family to teach him. Now that Sui Zihan is dead, what do you think Sui Tai will do? Since Sui Zihan was killed, the Sui clan will definitely not let it go, right? Everyone discussed. In the Sui family, Sui Juanru opened the message talisman and was stunned for a long time. Then, he cried out, "Zihan." Half an hour later, Sui Juanru knelt in front of the Sui family's patriarch, Sui Kuiwen, and the other ancestors. His eyes were red as he kowtowed. "Patriarch, please avenge Zihan." Sui Kuiwen didn't say anything and the hall was silent. The strongest ancestor of the Sui family, Sui Yukuan, said, 13 peak level 13 chaos wills is a miracle. We have to be careful and investigate this person's identity. Sui Juanru was stunned. Ancestor, you mean that the Sui family will forget about Zihan's death? Sui Kuiwen sighed, Juanru, Zihan is a genius of our Sui clan. Everyone here loves Zihan, and we're all saddened by Zihan's death. We want to crush the other party to death, but Lu Yiping's background is unknown. Moreover, he possesses a peak level 13 chaos fate. Our Sui clan has to be cautious. Sui Juanru's face paled. At this time, Sui Tai of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect clenched his fist and crushed the message talisman. Smashed into meat paste. Red Moon City. Sui Tai's eyes were red as he said in a low voice, Zihan, don't worry. Uncle won't let you die in vain. With that, he flew into the sky and disappeared. Sui Tai's divine armor flickered as his figure flashed in the void at an astonishing speed. The divine armor he was wearing was an upper-grade Khanate supreme treasure forged by the Thousand Souls Divine Sect, called the Taishian Divine Armor. The mysterious divine armor had a time divine formation carved into it. Sui Tai had activated the time divine formation of the mysterious divine armor to travel through time and space towards Red Moon City. After staying for half an hour, and Longjiao S. and Taurus Long. After leaving the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce, Lu Yiping did not immediately leave Red Moon City. Instead, he stayed in Red Moon City with the Dragon Horn Golden Bull. Lu Yiping had branded Black Wind Old Monster by Fei's soul. Therefore, he was currently waiting in Red Moon City for Zi Mingji of the Purple Extreme Devil Race to come and find Bai Fei. This time, Lu Yiping had not only asked the True Dragon Merchant Guild to search for the Builder Tree and Buzhou Mountain Stone, but also to inquire about Tian Hong. Though he didn't know Tian Hong's identity, he knew Tian Hong's physical characteristics from Zhao Tao's memory fragments. Tian Hong was tall, almost 2 meters in height. His palms were abnormally thick, and there was a green spot in his left eye. Although it was difficult to identify Tian Hong based on these physical characteristics, it was better than nothing. Several days later, the Sui family also heard that Lu Yiping had killed the blood demon sect's patriarch Li Yu with 49 totems. The Sui family was shocked to learn that Lu Yiping had 49 totems. Early morning. The sun was bright. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were cultivating in a mansion. Suddenly, a figure appeared in the sky above the Red Moon City. It was Sui Tai from the Thousand Souls Divine Sect. Sui Tai appeared in the sky above the Red Moon City. He didn't hide his aura, and it enveloped the entire city. It's Sui Tai from the Sui family. It's Sui Tai. When the experts recognized the person in the sky, they were all shocked. After Sui Zihan's death, everyone was guessing if the Sui family and Thousand Souls Divine Sect would send experts. Xia Yun of the True Dragon Merchant Guild was also surprised when he heard that Sui Tai had come. Mysterious Divine Armor. Xia Yun was shocked when he saw the armor on Sui Tai's body. The Thousand Souls Divine Sect used all their resources to forge this armor, and it's really given to Sui Tai. When the Thousand Souls Divine Sect used all their resources to forge this armor, it shocked the entire Brahma Moon continent. Everyone guessed that the armor was for the Thousand Souls Divine Sect's sect master, but now, it was given to Sui Tai. From this, one could see how much the Thousand Souls Divine Sect valued and protected Sui Tai. I heard that Sui Tai has already comprehended 10 laws, and each of them has comprehended 99 types of energy. An expert of the True Dragon Merchant Guild said, with Sui Tai's battle prowess, I'm afraid that many 11 or even 12 overgods wouldn't be his match. After a pause, he continued, I wonder if Lu Yiping and the others can contend with Sui Tai. Xia Yun was also curious about Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao's true strength. He could see that Taurus Longjiao's strength wasn't his true strength. Lu, come out. I know you're still in the Red Moon City. Sui Tai scanned the Red Moon City and his cold voice resounded in the sky. Every corner of the Red Moon City could hear his voice. As soon as Sui Tai finished speaking, 2 figures, one blue and one gold, appeared in the sky. Seeing Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao appear, Sui Tai walked towards them. High-grade innate cardinal treasure. Lu Yiping looked at the mysterious divine armor on Sui Tai's body and said. With a flash of light, a spear appeared in Sui Tai's hand. The spear was pitch black, and it emitted a black light that made one's heart palpitate. This spear was called the Divine Spear of Darkness, and it was a mid-grade innate cardinal treasure. Sui Tai's gaze landed on Taurus Longjiao, you're the one who killed my nephew, Sui Zihan. That's right. Taurus Longjiao said, I killed the several hundred overgods of the Sui family. Then you can die. Sui Tai's voice was low as he stabbed out with the spear in his hand. Water, wood, wind, fire, earth, metal, lightning, poison, darkness, and light, a total of 999 types of energy surged out. Darkness swallowed the sky, and light shone. Waves surged to the sky. Hurricanes tore through the world. Amidst the darkness and light, a pale green light shone out. This was the power of the law of poison. Just as the 999 types of energy surged out, the spear suddenly crossed through layers of space and arrived in front of Taurus Longjiao. It's the power of the law of space. Seeing Sui Tai's spear cross through layers of space, Xia Yun's eyes narrowed, and he's already comprehended 99 types. 1089 types of energy. Seeing the divine spear of darkness carrying 1089 types of energy, Taurus Longjiao raised his hand. Chapter 369. When Taurus Longjiao raised his hand, it was as if his palm was covered in the world's most dazzling golden light. Rays of golden light shot out, piercing the eyes of the Red Moon City's experts. Even Xia Yun and Sui Tai had never seen such a dazzling golden light. Taurus Longjiao's palm met the divine darkness spear. When everyone saw this, they could not help being stunned. He can't be thinking of blocking the divine darkness spear with his palm, right? An expert from the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce exclaimed. Xia Yun was also surprised. The divine darkness spear was a mid-grade innate artifact. The golden retriever beside Lu Yiping actually wanted to block the divine darkness spear's spear light with his bare hands. Sui Tai sneered seeing this. His strength increased once more, and the divine darkness spear's light became even more dazzling. A wave of law energy similar to the space law surged out. Of course, it was only similar and not space law energy. It's time law. An expert shouted. Moreover, it was the 99 types of time law energy. Sui Tai had also comprehended 99 types of time law energy. Xia Yun didn't expect Sui Tai to not only comprehend the first 10 types of laws to perfection, but also time and space laws to perfection. All 12 types of laws reached perfection, a total of 1,188 types of energy. The spear shot towards Taurus Longjiao. Zheng. The divine darkness spear carried 1,188 types of energy as it slammed into Taurus Longjiao's palm. The sound of the impact wasn't loud, but everyone's heart shook. This attack seemed to have struck their souls and hearts. Rays of light burst out. The divine darkness spear's various types of law energy exploded. However, the divine darkness spear didn't pierce through Taurus Longjiao's palm like everyone had expected. Taurus Longjiao stood there, his palm was like a golden mountain that supported the Jiutian mountain. The divine darkness spear on top of his palm shot out rays of light, but it didn't budge. Everyone saw that Taurus Longjiao's palm didn't even break the skin. Xia Yun was stunned. Sui Tai had a look of disbelief on his face. His attack, which contained 12 laws and 1,188 origins powers, was actually unable to break through a single palm of the golden retriever. The golden retriever man's palm stood there, as if no amount of power could cross it. While Sui Tai was still in disbelief, the world suddenly trembled violently. Chaos fates flew out one after another. The 26 chaos wills almost completely covered the sky above Crimson Moon City. When Taurus Longjiao's 26 primal chaos wills flew out, Crimson Moon City trembled violently. The ground began to crack as if 26 primal chaos mountains were pressing down from the sky. Crimson Moon City couldn't withstand this power. Red Moon City's experts felt their bodies sink. The weaker ones were directly pressed to the ground by the terrifying power passed down from the space. Even Sui Tai's heart sank. 26 Chaos Fates. Xia Yun and the experts of Red Moon City were shocked and they saw the 26 peak level, 13 chaotic fate beasts in the sky. The 26 Chaos Fates buzzed. Chaos Chi roared, lightning condensed, and thousands of divine dragons flew out. Chaos Lightning Chi and Chaos Dragon Chi rained down like 26 waterfalls. Even Sui Tai's 12 origins and 1,188 origins couldn't compare to the power of these 26 waterfalls. Sui Tai was terrified. He frantically activated the Arcana Divine Armor on his body, causing layers of arrays to shine. The armor had a total of 81 arrays. When all 81 arrays were activated, the power of the arrays caused the surrounding space to tremble. The power of the time array directly tore through the void. Sui Tai waved the Dark Divine Spear in his hand, and the 12 origins clashed with the Chaos Lightning Chi and Chaos Dragon Chi. This time, Sui Tai's 12 origins included the Chaos Force. It's the Chaos Force of the Chaos Fate Beasts, someone said. When a Chaos Fate Beasts broke through to the Overgod realm, their law power could fuse with the Chaos Fate Beasts to produce Chaos Force. The higher the level of the Chaos Fate Beasts, the stronger the Chaos Force. When Sui Tai was still a Destiny Beasts, although the Chaos Fate Beasts he fused with wasn't Taurus Longjiao's peak level 13 Chaos Fate Beasts, it was still a level 12 Chaos Fate Beasts. Moreover, there were 24 of them, so the Chaos Force produced was still shocking. After Sui Tai attacked, he used the power of the Arcana Divine Armor's time array to escape. With a loud boom, Taurus Longjiao's Chaos Lightning Qi and Chaos Dragon Qi clashed with Sui Tai's 12 Origins and Chaos Force. The world shook, and Crimson Moon City trembled. Terrifying shockwaves swept out in all directions. Chaos Qi shot out. The 12 Origins beasts intersected with each other. The space and buildings in the upper world were 10,000 times more stable than in the lower world. However, under the impact of Taurus Longjiao and Sui Tai's power, the surrounding buildings were lifted up and spatial cracks spread out. Many of the god kings and over-gods who had hidden extremely far away felt their scalps prickle when they saw this. The shockwave struck Sui Tai, who was escaping with the help of the Time Divine Array. The Taishian Divine Armor on Sui Tai's body trembled, and Sui Tai was pushed back for hundreds of miles. Sui Tai stood still, and he felt his blood boiling. His throat heated up, and blood oozed out from the corner of his mouth. He wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and looked at Taurus Longjiao with shock and anger. Looking at the 26 peak level 13 Chaos Fate beasts above Taurus Longjiao, he couldn't hide his shock. He had fused with a level 12 Chaotic Fate, but the gap between his power and a peak level 13 Chaotic Fate was so huge. His 24 level 12 Chaotic Fate and 12 Law Origins were still unable to fend off 26 peak level 13 Chaotic Fate. If it weren't for the Arcana Divine Armor, he would have been heavily injured. Peak level 13 Chaos Fate beasts are so strong, an expert from the Sun Moon Palace exclaimed. The Sun Moon Palace was a sect second only to the Thousand Souls Divine Sect. Probably only an over-god at the Great Perfection 13 Elemental Great Perfection over-god can block the 26 peak level 13 Chaos Fate beasts, Xia Yun exclaimed. While everyone was discussing, the Dragon Horn Golden Bull looked at Sui Tai, who was pushed back, and said, "You're not weak." However, that was just a warm-up. Just a warm-up. Everyone became restless when they heard that. The attack from the 26 peak level 13 Chaos Fate beasts was just a warm-up. Then, what kind of attack would come next? Everyone saw Taurus Longjiao raise his hands. His palms shone with golden light as the law of metal surged out. However, everyone's eyes widened when they saw Taurus Longjiao's law of metal. Taurus Longjiao didn't have 99 types of law of metal, but 100. 100 types of law of metal. What was going on? Were their eyes playing tricks on them? Chapter 370. Xia Yun and Sui Tai's eyes widened. Everyone knew that there were 13 types of laws in this world, and each type had 99 types of energy. Even the barbarian dragon ruler had 99 types of energy. No one had ever heard of anyone comprehending 100 types of energy from one type. While everyone was in disbelief, Taurus Longjiao's lightning energy surged from his palms. 99 types. After 99 types of lightning energy, another type of lightning energy surged out. 100 types. Seeing that Taurus Longjiao also had 100 types of lightning energy, everyone was shaken once more. Moreover, they could sense that whether it was Taurus Longjiao's 100th type of metal energy or lightning energy, they were both extremely terrifying. They were even more terrifying than the previous 99 types combined. Taurus Longjiao struck out with both palms. 100 types of the law of metal and 100 types of the law of lightning roared out, turning into an ocean of metal and an ocean of lightning. Chaos energy surged within the sea of metal and lightning. It was the chaos energy produced after the metal and lightning laws merged with the 26 peak level 13 chaos wills. All 26 of them were at the peak of the 13th level. The primal chaos force produced by these 26 primal chaos wills was extremely vast. The sky above Crimson Moon City began to crumble inch by inch. Layers of space were constantly being shattered. The Golden Ocean and the Lightning Ocean instantly arrived in front of Sui Tai with the power to destroy heaven and earth. Sui Tai panicked and didn't have time to think. He activated all the arrays in his Taishian divine armor and frantically retreated. At the same time, he struck out with the dark divine spear. The power of the 12 laws shone brightly. Along with his chaos destiny, the chaos force collided with the metal ocean and the lightning ocean. But this time, his 12 types of laws and chaos energy were instantly blasted away by the sea of metal and lightning. The sea of metal and lightning didn't stop and continued to attack him. Unable to retreat, Sui Tai roared in anger and a blood-red mist ignited on his body. Clearly, he was using the Thousand Souls Divine Sect's forbidden technique to temporarily increase his strength. As the blood-red mist rose, Sui Tai's Taishian divine armor shone brightly and the power of the 81 arrays increased once more. Numerous large array runes twined around his body, forming a supreme mystic defensive barrier. When the Taishian defense enchantment was formed, the Golden Ocean and the Thunder Ocean crashed onto the Taishian divine armor. A hissing sound exploded. The Taishian spirit barrier was like a layer of ice. After being hit by 2 huge meteors from Jiutian, the Taishian spirit barrier collapsed and exploded. One by one, the formation runes exploded in the air like ice shards. The mysterious divine armor, which had been shining brightly, suddenly dimmed. All 81 great formations stopped operating. Sui Tai felt his body tremble. He was like a kite with its string cut as he was sent flying. After smashing through countless buildings in Red Moon City, he fell into a pile of ruins. The experts in Red Moon City were shocked beyond words when they saw the law of metal and law of lightning surrounding Taurus Longjiao. 100 types of metal elemental laws of nature. 100 types of law of lightning. The power was so strong that even the Taishian divine armor couldn't withstand it. The Golden Bull ignored the crowd and pulled Sui Tai, who was on the verge of death, out of the ruins in the distance. Then, it pulled off the mysterious divine armor on Sui Tai's body. He's not going to kill Sui Tai, is he? Feeling the chill from Taurus Longjiao, the true Dragon Chamber of Commerce's expert stuttered. As soon as he said that, he saw Taurus Longjiao pierce Sui Tai's body with a finger. Sui Tai was sent flying. In mid-air, he turned into a rain of blood that fluttered about. The experts from Red Moon City and the true Dragon Chamber of Commerce were stunned when they saw Sui Tai's body turn into a rain of blood. Sui Tai is dead. Many experts from various sects and clans stared at the rain of blood in disbelief. Sui Tai was known as the most monstrous genius in the history of the Sui clan, as well as the most monstrous genius in the history of the Fan Yu continent. He had the potential to become a supreme ruler in the future. He was worshipped by countless disciples of the Fan Yu continent, but now, he had died in Red Moon City. Thinking of the terrible consequences of Sui Tai's death, even Xia Yun, the president of True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's Brahma Moon City branch, paled. Xia Yun didn't know when Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao left. He stood there in a daze, thinking of the Thousand Souls Divine Sect and the Sui family's wrath and razing Red Moon City to the ground. The experts of True Dragon Chamber of Commerce and Red Moon City also thought of the same thing. Their faces paled and their eyes were filled with fear. Now, they didn't have the time to think about how Taurus Longjiao comprehended the 100 types of law of metal and law of lightning. President, should we leave Red Moon City first? One of the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's experts stuttered. If the Sui family and the Thousand Souls Divine Sect were enraged, everyone in Red Moon City would be buried with them. Xia Yun took a deep breath and said, I will report this to the higher-ups and see what they say. He took out the communication talisman and contacted the higher-ups. Soon, he received a reply. After reading the reply, Xia Yun said solemnly, order all True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's disciples to leave Red Moon City. Almost at the same time, many families and sects in Red Moon City also gave the order to leave Red Moon City. The crowd rushed out of Red Moon City in a rush. Sui family. The strongest ancestor of the Sui family, Sui Yukuan, looked at the communication talisman in his hand. His eyes were blank and his body was stiff. His hands trembled as he said, "He's dead." Sui family's patriarch, Sui Kuewen, had a bad feeling when he saw Sui Yukuan holding the communication talisman with trembling hands. "Ancestor, what are you doing?" Sui Kuewen asked. Many ancestors in the hall were puzzled. Sui Yukuan looked at Sui Kuewen and the others in the hall. His eyes were blank and lifeless. His voice seemed to come from another world. Tai is dead. Tai was dead. Sui Yukuan's voice resounded in the ears of Sui Kuewen and the Sui family's ancestors. Dead? Sui Kuewen's voice trembled. Sui Yukuan handed the communication talisman to Sui Kuewen. Sui Kuewen took it and looked at it. The more he looked at it, the more his hands trembled and his face turned paler. His killing intent grew stronger and his eyes turned redder. The Sui family's ancestors came over and looked at the communication talisman. In an instant, the Sui family's main hall was filled with killing intent. Kill. After a long while, the strongest ancestor of the Sui family, Sui Yukuan's voice was filled with hatred and killing intent. At the same time, in the ancestral land of the Thousand Souls divine sect, a voice filled with hatred and killing intent rang out, "Kill." Soon, figures exuding powerful auras rushed into the sky from the Sui family's main hall. The Thousand Souls divine sect's army was even more majestic. Killing intent filled the air as they rushed towards Red Moon City. Chapter 371. Although there were only 101 people from the Sui family, every one of them had surpassed the over-god realm. God Emperors. All of them are God Emperors. When the experts from the Sui family were on their way to Crimson Moon City, they alerted many cities along the way. Some of the old ancestors were shocked and they sensed the aura of the experts from the Sui family. In some of the smaller continents, like the Blood Demon continent, Li Yu was only an over-god. But now, the Sui family had sent 100 God Emperors. No, the leader is a God Ancestor. God Ancestor Qian Long from the Sui family. Many experts recognized the old man from the Sui family. God Ancestor Qian Long was a figure from more than 10 million years ago. 10 million years ago, his name had spread across the Brahma Moon continent and the surrounding continents. Everyone was shocked to see that the Sui family had sent a God Ancestor. A God Ancestor was the ancestor of all gods. Even in the vast divine world, a God Ancestor was an overlord. After reaching the God Ancestor realm, they rarely showed themselves. While the experts from the Sui family were on their way to Crimson Moon City, the Thousand Souls divine sect's army shocked the experts from the other cities. The Thousand Souls divine sect's army consisted of 1,000 God Emperors. 10 God Ancestors. When the experts from the Sui family and the Thousand Souls divine sect arrived at Crimson Moon City, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were cultivating under the Tree of Creation. Lu Yiping's body was surrounded by profound yellow qi and saint light. Suddenly, Lu Yiping, who was cultivating, stopped. He had left a mark on by Fei's soul. Just now, he sensed that Zi Mingji from the Purple Extreme Demon clan had come to contact by Fei. Lu Yiping had been waiting for Zi Mingji to appear. Immediately, Lu Yiping put away the Tree of Creation and left Crimson Moon City with Taurus Longjiao. Soon after Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao left Crimson Moon City, an expert reported to Sui family's God Ancestor, Sui Qianlong. Lu Yiping escaped. Sui Qianlong's face turned cold. Pass down the order to seal the Fanhua continent. I want to see how they escape. The experts of the Thousand Souls divine sect also ordered the Brahma Moon continent to be sealed off. At this moment, in a mansion in Rongzhou City, Rong Ping, the fifth daughter of the Rong family, was having a banquet with some friends to play the zither and discuss Taoism. Sitting across from Rong Ping was Lan Chuxin, a direct disciple of one of the Sun Moon Palace's ancestors. Lan Chuxin stopped playing a song and suddenly sighed with emotion. In the past, there were always 5 of us. Now that brother Zi Han isn't here, it feels much quieter. A beautiful woman sitting beside Rong Ping snorted coldly, Zihan will not die in vain. That Lu Yiping and his subordinates will not be able to escape. The beautiful woman was the daughter of the divine Snow Phoenix sect master, Yu Yan. I don't know where this Lu guy came from. I didn't expect him to have 26 peak level 13 chaotic fate beasts. He's also comprehended 100 types of metal and lightning laws. Lan Chuxin frowned. Even Lord Tai died at his hands. I really don't know how his subordinates comprehended 100 types of power. If his subordinates can comprehend 100 types of power, then Lu Yiping must have comprehended 100 types of power as well. Rong Ping recalled the scene in the Red Moon Forest and said hatefully, it's too bad that I'm too weak. Otherwise, I would have trampled Lu Yiping and Bai Feifei to death. Lan Chuxin looked at Rong Ping and said, I heard that your Rong family has a guard captain who is from the purple extreme demon race. Rong Ping shook her head. Our Rong family has already investigated clearly. Bai Fei is not from the purple extreme demon race. It's all Lu Yiping's nonsense. At this time, somewhere in Rong Ping's mansion, Bai Fei was respectfully kneeling before an expert in a black robe and a ghost mask. Master, this is what you're looking for. Bai Fei respectfully presented a silver stone to Zi Mingji. It was because of this silver stone's importance that Zi Mingji was so anxious to see Bai Fei. He was wearing the purple extreme demon race's special robe that concealed his aura. Therefore, he wasn't worried about being discovered by Rong Ping's experts. Zi Mingji received the silver stone. After carefully inspecting it, his face lit up with joy, well done. Bai Fei smiled, it's all thanks to Master's nurturing. Just as Zi Mingji was about to speak, he looked up and saw two figures, one blue and one gold, appear in the air above the mansion without any warning, walking towards the two of them. Zi Mingji was stunned. The two figures were none other than Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. Since Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao did not conceal their auras, when Lu Yiping and Bai Fei appeared, Rong Ping, Lan Chuxin, Yu Yan, and the others also noticed Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. Lan Chuxin and the others didn't recognize Lu Yiping, but when Rong Ping saw Lu Yiping, her face tightened. Her eyes turned frosty as she spat, Lu Yiping. Lan Chuxin, Yu Yan, and the others were dumbfounded. He's Lu Yiping. Yu Yan's gaze turned frosty. She turned to the two experts beside her and said, Elders, please kill him. The two divine Snow Phoenix sect elders complied respectfully and leaped into the air. When the two of them flew into the air, the energy in their bodies was fully circulated, shocking waves of energy swept out. Both of them were God Emperor realm experts. A God Emperor was above the Master God realm, the Emperor of Gods. Subsequently, two avatars that looked exactly the same as them flew out from their bodies. These were the avatars of God Emperor realm experts. Both avatars were 3,000 zhang tall. One was shrouded in lightning, while the other was surrounded by raging tornadoes. Clearly, one was a lightning element avatar, and the other was a wind element avatar. When one was a God King and Master God, the stronger the heavenly mandate they integrated with, the stronger the law they comprehended. Thus, when they broke through to God Emperor realm, the stronger the avatar they condensed would be. An ordinary God Emperor realm expert's avatar would only be several dozen zhang tall, whereas these two divine Snow Phoenix sect elders' avatars were 3,000 zhang tall. The two elders summoned their avatars, and the long swords in their hands slashed at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. When the two elders' long swords slashed at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao, the two elders' avatars attacked at the same time. The two elders' avatars were no weaker than their main bodies, and it was equivalent to 4 people attacking at the same time. At this time, Zi Mingji knew that his identity had been exposed, so he activated the divine robe on his body and turned into a streak of purple light, wanting to escape. Lu Yiping stared at the two elders of the divine Snow Phoenix sect as his expression turned cold. Lightning flashed around his body, causing the space to tremble. Behind him, a towering figure appeared. When this figure appeared, the heavens and earth darkened. Countless bolts of lightning surged around this figure, and he held a lightning hammer in his hand. Just the lightning hammer in his hand alone was 100,000 zhang long. A terrifying lightning tribulation aura swept through the world. All the experts in Rongzu's city were alarmed. Many figures flew out of the Rong family's headquarters. When the experts of the Rong family's headquarters saw the towering figure, they were all shocked. This is an avatar. The Rong family patriarch trembled. An ordinary god emperor's avatar would only be several dozen zhang tall. The avatars of the divine snow phoenix sect elders could be considered strong if they were 3,000 zhang tall. 1,000 zhang tall avatar was rare. In the past, the barbaric dragon sovereign's avatar was only 10,000 zhang tall. Chapter 372. According to the records, the primordial heavenly emperor's avatar was only 100,000 feet tall. As for 100,000 feet tall avatar, the Rong family patriarch and the rest had never heard of such a thing. Rong Ping, Lan Chuxin, Yu Yan, and the rest were dumbfounded when they saw the 10,000 feet tall figure behind Lu Yiping. Even Zi Mingji, who was running away, felt his legs trembling when he turned around to look at the darkening sky. At this time, the 10,000 feet tall figure behind Lu Yiping slammed down with a lightning hammer. Boundless divine lightning rained down like an apocalyptic tsunami. The two divine snow phoenix sect elders' sword chi was shattered in an instant. The terrifying power penetrated through the layers of space, smashing down from the sky. The two divine snow phoenix sect elders turned pale with fright. They didn't even dare to resist as they fled frantically. They even executed the divine snow phoenix sect's strongest escape technique, the Phoenix Cry Jyotian. The two divine snow phoenix sect elders turned into two streaks of white divine flames, trying to escape from the lightning hammer's attack range. However, just as they turned around to flee, they felt the space around them tremble. Terrifying lightning chi engulfed them. The two divine snow phoenix sect elders fell from the sky like falling stones. Even after the two divine snow phoenix sect elders were hit by the terrifying lightning chi, the 100,000 feet tall lightning hammer continued to smash down with devastating power. Rong Ping's residence was huge, spanning 100 miles, but it seemed so small in front of the lightning hammer. Looking at the descending lightning hammer, Rong Ping, Lan Chuxin, Yu Yan, and the rest paled. "Young lord, run!" The guard behind Lan Chuxin roared. At the same time, he grabbed Lan Chuxin's shoulder and dragged him out of the residence. The guard behind Rong Ping also carried Rong Ping away. Yu Yan also did the same. As for the other guards in the residence, they were also fleeing in panic. The residence was in chaos. Before the lightning hammer landed, the residence's buildings were smashed into smithereens by the surging lightning chi. Rumble. The lightning hammer finally landed on the ground. The two divine snow phoenix sect elders felt their bodies stiffen and they lost consciousness. The divine snow phoenix sect chief's daughter, Yu Yan, was also smashed into the ground by the lightning hammer. When the lightning hammer smashed into the ground, Rongzu city trembled. The entire mansion had already disappeared, and the surrounding buildings were also blown away by the rolling thunder chi, turning into dust. Rong Ping, Lan Chuxin, and the others who had escaped from the manor were also blown away by the lightning chi's remnant energy. When they crashed to the ground, they vomited blood. Everyone was aghast. Looking from afar, the surroundings of the residence were filled with rolling sand and lightning. Sand and dust flew everywhere, covering an unknown distance. Lu Yiping put away the thunder hammer, and with a suction force from his hand, he pulled the fleeing Zi Mingji back. Zi Mingji looked at Lu Yiping, who was right in front of him. He looked at Lu Yiping's figure that was still surging with lightning. He felt his entire body stiffen and his heart stop beating. Lu Yiping took Zi Mingji and didn't leave immediately. Instead, he looked in the direction of the Rong family's headquarters. "Does anyone else want to make a move?" Lu Yiping's voice was indifferent. However, there was no response from the Rong family's mansion. The Rong family's god ancestors didn't say anything. Even the Rong family's patriarch, who was a supreme god, didn't say anything. Lu Yiping stood there for a while, and after a while, he and Taurus Longjiao flew away with Zi Mingji, disappearing into the horizon in the blink of an eye. Rong Ping, Lan Chuxin, and the others crawled out from the ruins. When they saw that the mansion had completely disappeared and was replaced by a giant hammer-shaped pit, their faces turned pale and they trembled uncontrollably. Yu Yan is dead. Rong Ping's hands were shaking, and she couldn't hear anything around her. She came to the original location of the mansion and stood at the edge of the pit. Looking down, she saw that the thunder chi was still rising from the pit. Through the layers of thunder chi, she saw that there were only a few pools of blood at the bottom of the pit. Lan Chuxin and the others looked at the bottom of the pit, and they were all stunned. What happened in Rongzhou city spread quickly. Sui Qianlong, the god ancestor of the Sui family, was shocked when he heard the report. 1,000,000 feet lightning element avatar. The 100 god emperors of the Sui family also looked at each other. Lord Qianlong, should we report this to the old ancestor? One of the god emperors of the Sui family said weakly, pointing at Sui Yukuan. 1,000,000 feet lightning element avatar. What kind of concept was that? For every 10 feet the avatar grew, its battle strength would increase. How terrifying would 1,000,000 feet avatar's battle strength be? They couldn't imagine. If Lu Yiping really had 1,000,000 feet lightning element avatar, they wouldn't be able to kill him. Even 1,000 god emperors wouldn't be able to kill Lu Yiping, let alone 100. Although Sui Qianlong was a god ancestor, he wouldn't be able to kill Lu Yiping with 1,000,000 feet avatar. Sui Qianlong's expression changed. In the end, he took out a message talisman and reported to Sui Yukuan. The experts of the Thousand Souls Divine sect did the same. After leaving Glory Foot City, Lu Yiping learned about the purple extreme demon race's nest on the Brahma Moon continent from Zi Mingji's memory fragments. Immediately, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao headed to the purple extreme demon race's nest. A few days later, Lu Yiping and Sui Yukuan appeared in the sky above a primitive forest. The purple extreme demon race's nest on the Brahma Moon continent was in this primitive forest. Lu Yiping covered the area with his soul, and very soon, he discovered the location of the purple extreme demon clan's lair. This lair was only a small branch of the purple extreme demon clan. There were not many people, only 300 or 400 of them. Moreover, there were no experts, and they were basically all over gods. However, to Lu Yiping's surprise, there were a lot of tree of creation in this nest. The tree of creation in his body was vibrating. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao arrived in the sky above the purple extreme demon race's nest. The heavenly pillar appeared in Taurus Longjiao's hand, and it turned into a giant peak that slammed down. After annihilating the purple extreme demon race's experts, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao arrived at the nest's treasury. They pushed open the treasury's door and saw a mountain of tree of creation and chaos spirit stones. The number of tree of creation in this nest was no less than the number of tree of creation in the purple extreme demon race's treasury in the lower realm. This was just a small nest of the purple extreme demon race in the upper realm, yet they had collected so many tree of creation. It was obvious that there were more tree of creation in the upper realm than in the lower realm. Lu Yiping didn't hesitate. He sat down cross-legged and summoned the tree of creation. He began to merge with the tree of creation here. The tree of creation that was 210,000 meters grew at a speed visible to the naked eye. Soon, it grew to 211,000 meters. By the time the tree of creation devoured all the tree of creation here, it had grown to 232,000 meters. After reaching 232,000 meters, the tree of creation's branches extended further into the surrounding space. Its leaves were lush, and the amount of black and yellow qi increased. The grand Tao patterns on the tree of creation emitted a mesmerizing light. Lu Yiping looked at the tree of creation that had grown by another 20,000 meters. He was one step closer to 300,000 meters. Anticipation grew in his heart. When he reached 300,000 meters, all the chaos chi would transform into black and yellow chi. At that time, he would be able to cultivate the immortal heavenly wood arts and secret longevity secret art faster. Chapter 373. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao exited the primordial forest and arrived at a nearby city. The barbaric dragon sovereign's cave dwelling has appeared, is it true? I'm afraid it's true. Many experts are heading towards the Dragon Cauldron Mountain. Even the Thousand Souls Divine Sect, Sui Family, Sun Moon Palace, and Snow Phoenix Divine Sect are heading there. After entering the city, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao could hear the various sects' disciples talking about the cave dwelling. The barbaric dragon sovereign's cave dwelling has appeared. Taurus Longjiao's eyes lit up. The ruler of the divine world, the barbaric dragon ruler, was the descendant of the primordial heavenly emperor. This was a secret that many sovereigns in the divine world did not know, but Lu Yiping and the dragon horn golden bull did. Therefore, the barbaric dragon sovereign's cave dwelling might contain some records about the primordial heavenly court or even the primordial heavenly emperor. Without further ado, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao rushed towards the Dragon Cauldron Mountain. The Dragon Cauldron Mountain was the largest mountain range in the Brahma Moon continent. When Lu Yiping and Lu Yiping arrived, Dragon Cauldron Mountain, which stretched as far as the eye could see, was filled with spaceships and people. Lu Yiping looked around and saw that some sects had brought more than 1 million people. The barbaric dragon sovereign was the ruler of the divine world, so the treasures in his cave dwelling were unimaginable. Therefore, when the barbaric dragon sovereign's cave dwelling appeared, almost all the sects had come. The Sui family's old ancestor, Sui Yukuan, is also here. There are more than 30 supreme gods from the Sui family. The Thousand Souls Divine Sect's Thousand Star Brilliance is also here. There are more than 50 supreme gods from the Thousand Souls Divine Sect. As Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao followed the crowd into the Dragon Cauldron Mountain, they overheard the discussions of many experts. Sui Yukuan. Thousand Star Brilliance. Without a doubt, the two of them were the strongest in the Brahma Moon continent. Looking at the flying ships flying around him, Lu Yiping took out the Black Dragon flying ship and boarded it. As he flew deeper into the Dragon Cauldron Mountain, Lu Yiping could feel an intense tremor in the depths of the mountain. Very soon, Lu Yiping and Jian Chen saw a huge entrance in the sky above the depths of Dragon Cauldron Mountain. The violent vibrations originated from this entrance. Powerhouses from all over the world were rushing to enter the spatial entrance. Lu Yiping steered the Black Dragon flying ship towards the spatial entrance. However, just as Lu Yiping's Black Dragon flying ship was about to enter the spatial entrance, a huge flying ship suddenly appeared from behind. This huge flying ship was tens of thousands of feet long. It was even bigger than the Black Dragon flying ship. The body of the flying ship was branded with a huge golden blade. It's the Golden Blade spaceship. When the crowd saw the spaceship, they all stepped aside in shock. The Golden Knife Divine Sect was not from the Brahma Moon continent, but from the other main continent of the God Realm, the Ancient Demon continent. The Golden Knife Divine Sect was the #1 sect on the Ancient Demon continent. Its status on the Ancient Demon continent was equivalent to the Thousand Spirits Divine Sect on the Brahma Moon continent. The continents controlled by the Golden Knife Divine Sect were connected to the continents controlled by the Thousand Spirits Divine Sect. Standing at the front of the Golden Knife flying ship was a young man clad in golden robes. Behind him were a group of Golden Knife Divine Sect's experts. It's the Golden Knife Divine Sect's young lord, Jin Guanglia. Jin Guanglia has 4 avatars, and each avatar is over 3,000 feet long. He once killed the Greenwood Divine Emperor who had 5 avatars with a single punch. Seeing Jin Guanglia at the front of the flying ship, one of the family's ancestors exclaimed in shock. The Golden Knife flying ship tore through space and arrived at the spatial entrance in the blink of an eye. Some of the flying ships that were unable to dodge in time were sent flying. Some of the experts flying alone were smashed into a bloody mist. Jin Guangliu stood at the front of the flying ship with an indifferent expression. The golden knife flying ship's momentum did not decrease as it charged towards Lu Yiping's Black Dragon flying ship. The Black Dragon flying ship was 1,000 feet long, while the golden knife flying ship was 10,000 feet long. Just as everyone thought that the golden knife flying ship was about to collide with the Black Dragon flying ship, the Black Dragon flying ship suddenly emitted a bright light. The Black Dragon flying ship flew out and coiled around the golden knife flying ship. A dragon's roar reverberated through heaven and earth. The moment the golden knife flying ship collided with the Black Dragon flying ship, Golden Knife God Zhongzhong and the others felt a violent tremor. It was as if the world was spinning. The golden knife flying ship that had pierced through space with an unstoppable momentum was sent flying back. The terrifying vibrations caused the golden knife God Zhongzhong and the others to shudder. Some of the weaker disciples even vomited blood and were sent flying out of the golden knife flying ship. Screams filled the air. Shockwaves swirled in the surrounding space. Whether it was the experts from the Brahma Moon continent or the other continents, all of them were dumbfounded. Although this golden knife flying ship was not the golden knife divine sect's strongest flying ship, it was still a mid-grade innate supreme treasure. Taurus Longjiao looked at the golden knife flying ship that was sent flying and snorted coldly. He suddenly punched out, and a terrifying fist wave blasted through the layers of shockwaves on the Dragon Cauldron Mountain, directly hitting the golden knife flying ship that was still spinning. The golden knife flying ship that was still spinning was sent flying again, like a broken leaf, crashing into a mountain peak in the distance. The mountain peak collapsed. Inside the flying ship, the experts of the Golden Knife Divine Sect were sent flying out of the flying ship, crashing into the surrounding mountain peaks. Jin Guangliu himself was buried inside a mountain peak, buried under the rubble. No one knew if he was dead or alive. Everyone felt their hearts twitch. Other than the sound of the mountain peak collapsing in the distance, there was no other sound. Lu Yiping's expression was indifferent as he drove the Black Dragon flying ship and entered the space with Taurus Longjiao, disappearing from everyone's sight. However, for a long time, no one dared to enter the space. Long after Lu Yiping and Jin Guangliu entered the space, the Golden Knife Divine Sect's experts who were smashed into the surrounding mountain peaks crawled out from the rubble. Ignoring their injuries, they blasted away the rubble that buried Jin Guangliu and finally found him under layers of rubble. Jin Guangliu was lying under layers of rubble, his body was a bloody mess, and he was no longer breathing. Taurus Longjiao's punch was mainly aimed at Jin Guangliu. Jin Guangliu did not escape the destructive force of that punch. Not only was his main body's vitality completely destroyed, even his 4 avatars were completely destroyed. It could be said that all of them were dead. Young Lord. The Golden Knife Divine Sect's experts stared at Jin Guangliu's dead body in disbelief. They were dumbfounded, and their cries of agony shook the surroundings. The surrounding experts were also dumbfounded looking at Jin Guangliu's dead body. Jin Guangliu was dead. Who was that blue-robed young man and the Golden Retriever's brawny man? Someone asked in surprise. Everyone came back to their senses. That looks like Lu Yiping. Suddenly, a voice sounded from the crowd. In an instant, a commotion broke out. The Lu Yiping who killed Sui Tai. That's him. I've seen him at Red Moon City's True Dragon Chamber of Commerce, but Sui Tai was killed by his subordinate, the Golden Retriever's brawny man. Rongzhou City's Lu Yiping has a million Zhang avatar, is this true? The Golden Knife Divine Sect's experts were stunned listening to the commotion around them, and the killing intent on their faces lessened. Although they had not been in the Brahma Moon continent for long, they had heard of Lu Yiping's name. Chapter 374. I didn't expect Lu Yiping to come to the Dragon Cauldron Mountain. Lu Yiping killed Sui Tai and Yu Yan. Now, the Sui family, Thousand Souls Divine Sect, and Snow Phoenix Divine Sect are all looking for him. Unbeknownst to Lu Yiping, after entering the space with Taurus Longjiao, the fortune jade disc in his body suddenly vibrated. Lu Yiping was stunned for a moment, then he was overjoyed. There was a fortune jade disc in the barbaric dragon sovereign's cave dwelling. This was a pleasant surprise. Without further ado, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao flew towards the direction of the fortune jade disc. Soon, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao arrived at a towering mountain peak. When they reached the peak, they landed in front of a group of palaces. When Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao landed in front of the palaces, there were already many experts from various families present. After passing through the palaces, they arrived in front of a dragon palace. The dragon palace was majestic, and the stone pillars in front of the dragon palace were engraved with all kinds of divine dragons. The divine dragons were lifelike, and they exuded the might of dragons. However, there were dozens of experts standing guard in front of the dragon palace. Judging from their attire, they were from the Tai Hong divine sect. Although the Tai Hong divine sect wasn't as strong as the Thousand Souls divine sect, they were still a hegemon in the Brahma Moon continent. They weren't any weaker than the Sun Moon Palace, Snow Phoenix divine sect, or Sui family. Just as Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were about to enter the dragon palace, the Tai Hong divine sect's expert standing guard stopped them. My Tai Hong divine sect was the first to discover this palace. Please go somewhere else. One of the Tai Hong divine sect's experts said indifferently. It was clear that the Tai Hong divine sect wanted to monopolize this place. Your Tai Hong divine sect was the first to discover this place. Taurus Longjiao sneered. According to what you said, if I was the first to discover the divine world, does that mean it's mine now? The Tai Hong divine sect's experts were stunned. If the two of you don't want to die, I'd advise you to scram as far as you can right now. The face of the Tai Hong divine sect's expert darkened. However, as soon as he finished speaking, Taurus Longjiao waved his hand and sent him flying. The cultivator from the Tai Hong celestial sect smashed through the gate of the dragon palace. The gate of the dragon palace was broken into countless pieces. The experts of the Tai Hong divine sect who were guarding the entrance were stunned. You're courting death. The experts of the Tai Flood celestial sect glared at Taurus Longjiao with murderous intent in their eyes. Most of the experts from the Tai Hong celestial sect were god emperors. Only a few of them were over-gods. More than 30 god emperors and 4 master gods of 10 elemental laws or above attacked at the same time. Space howled as all kinds of origin energies covered the sky and earth. Taurus Longjiao snorted coldly. Light surged behind him, and 26 figures appeared. Each of the 26 figures was over 10,000 zhang tall, emitting a tremendous godly aura. Lightning flashed across the heavens and earth, and the cries of millions of heavenly dragons formed a sea of dragons. 26 avatars. The experts of the Tai Hong celestial sect were shocked and they saw the 26 avatars behind Taurus Longjiao. The 26 avatars behind Taurus Longjiao attacked at the same time. Space buzzed. 26 terrifying waves of light blasted out. The waves of light blasted the experts of the Tai Hong celestial sect away at a frightening speed. Then, without stopping, the waves of light blasted through the gate of the dragon palace and into the deepest part of the dragon palace. Rumbling sounds continued to echo in the air. Lu Yiping and Jian Wushuang entered the dragon palace in a flash and headed deeper into the dragon palace. Finally, they arrived at a great hall in the deepest part of the dragon palace. The great hall was as big as a small city. There were 49 stone pillars erected in the hall. Ancient runes were written all over the stone pillars. At the same time, a divine artifact was sealed on each pillar. There were axes, sabers, spears, swords, halberds, hammers, armors, and gloves. There were 18 kinds of divine artifacts. When Lu Yiping and Jian Wushuang arrived, they saw the experts of the Tai Hong celestial sect attacking the seals on the stone pillars. It was obvious that they were trying to break the seals and retrieve the divine artifacts. The experts of the Tai Hong celestial sect who were trying to retrieve the divine artifacts saw Lu Yiping and Jian Wushuang rushing in. Their faces darkened. One of them stopped and took a step forward, arriving in front of Lu Yiping and Jian Wushuang. Without saying a word, he punched out. When he punched out, a world appeared behind him. This world was 10,000 miles wide. There were mountains, rivers, trees, and all kinds of divine beasts and god tribes. Shocking energy surged out from this world and merged with the fist force. Then, it blasted towards Lu Yiping and Jian Wushuang. This world was the god domain of a god ancestor expert. When a god emperor broke through to the god ancestor realm, they would be able to open up a domain that belonged to them. Furthermore, they would be able to merge the energy of the domain with them to attack their opponents. The energy of a god domain far surpassed the origin energy of the 13 types of laws. Similarly, it was far stronger than a god emperor's god force. The bigger the god domain, the stronger the energy of the domain. Furthermore, once the god domain was opened, it could suppress the opponent's strength within a certain range. The stronger the god domain, the stronger the suppression. Seeing the Tai Hong celestial sex expert unleashing the power of a god domain, Lu Yiping remained calm. He didn't activate Tianming, his avatar, or his god domain. Instead, he pointed a finger forward. When Lu Yiping pointed his finger forward, 2 rays of light, one black and one red, appeared. The 2 rays of light transformed into a world of darkness and a world of light. Boundless energy of darkness and light roared out. When the energy of darkness and light surged out, heaven and earth shook. The dragon palace shook, and all the buildings outside the dragon palace shook. In the end, the entire mountain peak shook. Even the ground around the mountain peak started to crack. Radiant Dala Finger. The god ancestor from the Tai Hong celestial sect saw Lu Yiping's finger and thought of a supreme art. He couldn't help but turn pale. The radiant Dala finger was the supreme art of the barbaric dragon sovereign, the ruler of the divine world. The other experts from the Tai Hong celestial sect who were attacking the stone pillars also turned around in shock. Then, they saw Lu Yiping's finger force pierce through the god ancestor's fist force. Then, it went through the god ancestor's body and finally broke through the god's domain behind him. A huge hole was blasted open in the domain of divinity. From the hole, dense cracks spread out and quickly covered the entire domain of divinity. The god's domain was like a fragile piece of glass. With a crack, it shattered into countless pieces. As the godly domain collapsed, the godly ancestor was devoured by the power of light and darkness. His body started to dissipate. A single finger had killed a god ancestor. The several hundred experts from the Tai Hong celestial sect froze in shock. The hall fell into silence. A moment later, one of the experts from the Tai Hong celestial sect walked out. His aura surged out like a wave, and the energy contained in the wave surpassed the god ancestor's god force. He was a paramount god. Chapter 375. The paramount god was none other than Chen Tianming, the ancestor of the Tai Hong divine sect. Chen Tianming walked over to Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. His gaze was fixed on Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao as he asked, "May I know your names? What's your relationship with the barbaric dragon sovereign?" There was no killing intent or enmity in his eyes. Instead, there was only a burning desire to fight. Lu Yiping had executed the Radiance Dala finger, and he had grasped the essence of the Radiance Dala finger. It was clear that Chen Tianming believed that Lu Yiping was the barbaric dragon sovereign's successor. Lu Yiping didn't answer Chen Tianming's question. Instead, he looked at the front of the hall. There was a jade box on the stage, and the 8th piece of the fortune jade disc was inside it. Lu Yiping reached out to grab the jade box. Both the stone pillar and the jade box were sealed with restrictions. However, these restrictions were useless against Lu Yiping. The moment Lu Yiping touched the jade box, the restrictions on the jade box dissipated. The jade box flew into Lu Yiping's hand. The Tai Flood divine sex experts were stunned. They had tried to take the jade box from Huang Xiaolong earlier, but the seal on the jade box was too strong. It was completely integrated with the stage, and they couldn't move it at all. But now, Lu Yiping was able to take it out with ease. Even Chen Tianming looked at Lu Yiping with a solemn expression. Even when Lu Yiping killed a god ancestor with the Radiance Dala finger, Chen Tianming didn't show such a solemn expression. There was also a seal inside the jade box. Lu Yiping sent a surge of energy into the jade box to disperse the seal. When he opened the lid, he saw a jade disc emitting a mysterious light. It was the 8th piece of the Fortune Jade Disc. The 8th piece of the Fortune Jade Disc was finally in his hands. Lu Yiping kept the 8th piece of the Fortune Jade Disc into the universe cauldron for the time being. Chen Tianming was shocked. Was that the Fortune Jade Disc? However, he wasn't sure if that was the case. He had once read about the heaven-opening divine artifact, the Jade Disc of Good Fortune, in a divine canon. The Jade Disc of Fortune recorded the 3,000 great Daos that created the universe. It was the origin of all the laws and powers in the universe. His heart trembled. If that was really the Good Fortune Jade Disc, its value was self-evident. Yes, it's the Good Fortune Jade Disc, Lu Yiping said without concealing anything. Of course, he was not worried that Chen Tianming and the others would leak the information. Chen Tianming and the several hundred experts from the Tai Flood divine sect were shocked and they heard Lu Yiping's words. They quickly surrounded Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. Lu Yiping's expression didn't change at all when he saw the several hundred experts from the Tai Flood divine sect surrounding him. Suddenly, a terrifying power gushed out from Chen Tianming's body. This power was formless and intangible. However, it caused one's soul to feel as if it was being crushed. It was as if one's soul was being crushed by millions upon millions of mountains. This was the will of a paramount god. When a god ancestor broke through to the paramount god realm, their soul and psyche would undergo a shocking transformation. Their psyche would merge with heaven and earth, forming a special kind of will. This was the will of a paramount god. The will of a paramount god came from heaven and earth. It was formless and intangible, and it could kill people without form. A paramount god didn't even need to lift a finger to kill a god ancestor or a god emperor. Chen Tianming's will of a paramount god rose to the sky and crashed down on Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. The will of a paramount god was omnipresent. Therefore, his opponents couldn't dodge it. Whine. Under Chen Tianming's will of a paramount god, space buzzed. However, to Chen Tianming's astonishment, Lu Yiping and the dragon horn golden bull stood there under the bombardment of his supreme will. Their expressions were normal, and they were completely fine. Chen Tianming's face darkened as he pushed his will of a paramount god. The power of his will of a paramount god rose again. Shocking wrinkles appeared in space, like the strings of a zither that was stretched to the limit and could snap at any time. However, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were still standing there calmly. Chen Tianming was dumbfounded. Lu Yiping looked at the dumbfounded Chen Tianming. Your will of a paramount god isn't even at the destabilizing level. It's too low, too weak. Paramount god wills were divided into strong and weak. From low to high, they were divided into ordinary, super, and above super were the destabilizing, terrifying, vast, and invincible levels. Chen Tianming's will of a paramount god was only at the super level. It wasn't even at the destabilizing level. Suddenly, a strand of will of a paramount god erupted from Lu Yiping's body. When this strand of will of a paramount god appeared, Jiutian was shaken. The entire space of the barbarian dragon cave trembled violently. At this moment, all the experts who entered the cave could feel the terrifying will of a paramount god. In a certain corner of the cave, Sui family's Sui Yukuan and the Thousand Souls divine sect's Thousand Star Brilliance turned to look in the direction of the Dragon Palace. The Sui family's patriarch, Sui Kuewen, exclaimed, could it be an invincible level will? An invincible level will was the strongest will of a paramount god. It was said to be invincible under the sovereign realm, capable of destroying all souls. Sui Yukun spoke, it's not invincible level. It's not. Sui Kuewen stuttered, old ancestor, you mean? Sovereign. Sui Yukun repeated slowly. Sovereign. The Sui family's experts were shocked. For a moment, none of the Sui family's experts dared to speak. At this time, in the main hall of the Dragon Palace, Chen Tianming and the several hundred experts of the Tai Flood divine sect felt their bodies sink as they were forced to their knees by a terrifying force. They stared at Lu Yiping in shock. You, a sovereign? Chen Tianming's voice trembled. A sovereign was the strongest existence in the divine world. Every time a new sovereign was born, it would shake the divine world's continents. Sovereign. Taurus Longjiao snorted, even the barbaric dragon sovereign is nothing in front of my master. The ruler of the divine world, the barbaric dragon sovereign, was nothing in front of Huang Xiaolong. Chen Tianming and the experts of the Tai Flood divine sect stared at Lu Yiping in disbelief. The ruler of the divine world, the barbaric dragon sovereign, was a peak late-stage sovereign, the strongest in the divine world. How could he be nothing in front of this blue-robed young man? Who are you? Chen Tianming's mouth went dry. At this time, the cauldron of heaven and earth appeared in Lu Yiping's hand. The cauldron of heaven and earth shone brightly above Lu Yiping's palm. Chen Tianming's eyes widened when he saw the cauldron of heaven and earth. Cauldron of heaven and earth? You're the saint of heaven and earth. You're the master of the bewildering heaven sovereign. The bewildering heaven sovereign was the founder of the bewildering heaven sect. In the lower realm, Lu Yiping had many titles, such as the master of Saint Devil, the ancestor of lightning punishment, the supreme of the ancient era, and the god of the epoch. In the upper realm, Lu Yiping also had many titles, one of which was the saint of heaven and earth. All of a sudden, the cauldron of heaven and earth flew into the air, turning into a giant cauldron that supported the heavens. Chen Tianming fell to his knees and kowtowed respectfully, this lowly one has eyes but failed to see. Please forgive this lowly one for offending your excellency. His eyes were filled with fear. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.